code will rock the scene. Podcasting legends living the dream. Metaverse Podcast, the place to be. Rocking out with Elf, Slack, and Swally. Every week a new episode. Join us in the Metaverse. Let's hit it explode. Let's hit explode. Dive deep into virtual reality with our dynamic duo, setting us free from CGI to holograms. We'll explore the possibilities are endless. Let's soar. Enter the metaverse where fantasies come alive. Rocking out with Elf, Slack, and Swally. Every week a new episode. Join us in the metaverse. Let's hit it explode.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Neutral Zone episode. What are we on? 34. I cut our intro short manually. I still haven't made a new, edited version, but that's okay. Because we have news. Happy Swarley, how are we today?
Top of the world.
You are. Look at that.
He's on top of the world, but I don't know if he's. Yeah. How are we? What, Mr. Volga?
Doing well. I'm very gruntled today. It's been a decent day so far.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disgruntled, but shit happens. Let's move on. Something different, I know. All right, so straight off the top, we're going to talk about a bit of an announcement, yeah?
Yeah, we got a little bit of an announcement. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll start us off. So over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking a little bit about changing up this show in particular. I've wanted to take a step back because it's been quite evident of lately that I personally probably not being as positive towards Upland as I probably could be and should be for the benefit of myself and the community. So whilst I still want to stay involved and be part of this show, I'm going to take a back step and be more of a part-time person in relation to the show. The band and I are going to work in the background creating some of the information and details and whatnot that you need to run a show, and we're going to I'll let you talk more about what the new show is going to be like and who you're going to work with mostly on that show. So I'm still going to be involved. I'm still going to do segments from here and there. I might do a Spark segment. It won't be a weekly one because there's no real point unless it starts eating up. So I'm still going to be part of the Volga, I don't know, what do you want to call it, experience, or the Volga everything. And I'll still be there in the background. I'll probably, I'll still be on the shows. I'll still be managing comments, stuff like that, and probably just chatting with people.
Yeah, you'll be a little bit more behind the scenes, and sometimes you'll be front and center. But just
a little bit more conservative because we do really need to try and help Upland as best we can to try and put a positive light and spin on things. And I find myself getting more frustrated, and maybe it's maybe it's because I do a bit more digging in behind the scenes of what's going on and stuff like that. I don't know. So this is probably going to be my last neutral zone with you, and I feel like it's going to be the last neutral zone ever.
This very well could be the last neutral zone ever. But that's not to say this is the last of us doing something. In fact,
we're all still going to be involved, but yeah. Yes. So, all right. So you're going to be doing a slightly different show.
Yeah, we're gonna do something. We're gonna mix things up a little bit. We're gonna do something a little bit different. Unfortunately, we're gonna lose the sexiness of our Swarley 129 over here, but we are going to gain another sexy motherfucker in Mr. Wolf Warner. Everybody welcome Wolf Warner to the neutral zone. And we're going to be doing something completely different starting on Friday nights. Wolf, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Party people in that place to be. Wolf Warner's in the building. That is not the moon above me. It is a street light. I am out. Look, I am outside so my wife doesn't get vulgar with me on a school night, as I'm an educator. So I'm out here. I'm in the wild. I'm live right now. What's up, party people in the neutral zone? I would love to I always check you guys out, mostly in the summertime when I'm off. But if you want to tell the people out there what's about to happen, let them know how we're about to link up and jazz things up. Take it away, L Slack.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so starting Friday nights, perhaps this Friday, not this Friday, the next Friday, we're gonna transition into a show called Upland After Dark, where Wolf Warner, myself, and Happy are gonna spearhead this show. Laban and Swarley are gonna be in the background doing the ones and twos with our comments. They're gonna be taking care of all the fine details so that we're producing the best show we can possibly make. Honestly, people, we want to make a run at the greatest show that Upland has ever seen. Hands down. We're going to fucking kill it. We're going to be number one. We're going to be number one. We're going to show up and we're going to fucking blow everybody out of the water. That's right.
I love it.
It's Upland After Dark. Let them know, X1.
We're coming for it, man. East Coast, West Coast. We're hitting you from all angles, man. All angles.
Right.
The whole globe is going to be
We're going to hit you from across the planet. So just be ready. We're coming. We're going to come hard. We're going to come fast. That is not the name of my sex tape, but it definitely could be. It's just not tonight.
So just to add to that, so we've always sort of just played the neutral zone as just a few guys, or uplanders, not even guys, just hanging out, chatting crap, and often we've gone off the rails talking about who knows the fuck what. So the new show that you're doing is going to be not so much scripted, but more sort of organized. It's going to have all the information you need. You're going to try and focus more on trying to keep on the rails and actually be an informative opinion piece and with a positive spin. I mean, obviously, Wolf comes with a crap load of energy and positivity. L Slack's always too positive for his own good. And then you've got Happy still there, just being his usual happy self. So so the aim of the show is to be, compete with some of those other quality shows out there with information and current opinions and whatnot, with these three leading the way. And then obviously with input from other people. It's going to be a bit like Ben's show as well, so other people can jump on and join in, like Ben used to have. We always said that with the neutral zone, but people never really took it up too much. A couple of people here and there.
We had a couple strange. We had one strange jump on. We had Blue Rain jump on one day.
Oh, that was my favorite episode, I think. That crazy dude.
That was real weird.
I mean, we had Jonathan Sawyer a couple of times. Yeah, so Blue Rain a few times. Yeah. So all those people obviously always welcome. But we're aiming for the show to be roughly a 1 hour show. So probably, what time did you say it's going to try and kick off, Elsa? Because obviously we've got to work.
We're looking to do 9 p.m. Pacific time, 12 a.m. Eastern time.
Well, so that's a late night for Wolf.
That's nice though. It's a Friday night though, right? So
yeah, Friday night.
I'm safe.
Saturday afternoon for me, so I'll have to work that out with
Mrs. Wolf. She'll be happy.
Mrs. Wolf will be happy. You got to keep Mrs. Wolf happy.
Yep.
So it does make it a little bit more tougher for me being a Saturday afternoon. So if the missus got something planned, I may not be in the background some episodes. But having said that, I'll still my spin on it.
We're not all like Happy getting love live on camera. You know what I mean?
Got some live. I don't know if we were live earlier when Swarley got it.
No, I wasn't. We weren't.
No, we weren't.
I wasn't
My
privy.
wife told me, you never know.
Yeah, so we've been sort of working behind the scenes the last couple of weeks to sort of get this organised and approach Wolf, I think, up to 2 weeks ago, and he's been nothing but positive towards it and keen to get involved. So, and it's a late night for him, so I'm super grateful that he even even thought about it, let alone said yes. So, but I think between the two of yous and obviously and Happy as well, I think you guys got the ingredients to make a very quality show, very informative and very entertaining at the same time. So that's what we're going to try and do.
We're gonna do something amazing. I've been even working on. I've been trying to do some stuff in the background. I did work on a theme song. Wolf, have you had a chance to check out that theme song? You're on mute.
I heard the first one.
Okay, so I made another one. It's in our Discord, but I'm gonna see if it'll come up right now.
So just to answer Scory's question, it's roughly the same time as now, Scory. So whatever time the date is for you right now, without the changes of daylight savings and all that, when that come and go around the world, you're looking at roughly the same time now. Just so 9 p.m. Well, look at it this way: 9 p.m. PT time. So most releases happen at 9 a.m. PT. So 12 hours from that.
Shout out to Scory, man. Scory caught me in a race today. I looked away, and I was in last place. I mean, I just turned away for a second. I don't know if he remembers that race, but we had a race earlier today, and Wolf came in last, and I'm coming back for revenge.
What were you driving in?
It was an S1E.
Whoa.
We did a MPS 194, 1500, gamified earnings live.
Absolutely. Trying to get on that leaderboard.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to get the what's that? The power. I'm trying to get a couple races in for. It's too much for me with the leaderboard because I don't have the time. If it was in the summertime, I could grind, but
Right.
I find myself once I dive in, I get caught up. Like X Stacks today. I mean, I was playing all day today. I mean, I was.
How far did you get in that?
Oh
Level?
my goodness! I got to 3. My wife got me to 4. I don't know. She's younger than me. She knows Tetris, and she was like, "Give me the game." And she took my phone, and next thing you know, I was on level 4, man. So, I got a hack maybe. She's very good with it. I don't know. She
Yeah,
got me to
she
level
knows.
4. How about you?
I got to level 6.
Wow.
But I've only played I got home like an hour and a half ago, and so I just fiddled around with it for a little bit until I ran out of free lives or whatever. That level 6 has got me fucked up for real.
I passed level 1 3 times.
You failed level 1 3
I
times?
don't know how I cannot, I haven't been able to progress. I keep doing better at least, but I keep getting stuck at level 1. And every time I hit the freaking button on the app that says go to X or whatever, it takes me to level 1.
All right, this is my experience. I woke up this morning and saw it, and I'm like, okay, no dramas. So I clicked on the link, someone's link, but for some reason, when I logged into it, it logged into my wrong Twitter account. So for some reason, I got a second Twitter account, which I never use, and it's crap. And I got to level 12 on that, but it wasn't the right one. And then I got on my PC, because that was on the phone, and I hate playing on my phone anyway, but I thought, so I used to love Tetris, it's one of my favorite games. Then I jumped on the PC, had a crack at that, got stuck on level 6 with the right account. Only when I went to go register in game with my Twitter, because my home city's Queens, has been since day 1 in the game. So, and Howard's Beach is pushing to be the first node this season to become a exclusive collection. So that's where my home is sit at the moment, and I'm playing as New York. So I went and found the link for New York, played as New York, and it won't let me fucking join. And I'm just like, oh god damn it! So and it tells me to join LA or Washington or something like that. And I'm like, no, but my home city, I have to change my home city from Howard's Beach to somewhere else. And I'm like, you know what? No, I prefer Howard's Beach over.
Right. Out of Hills, we'll welcome you.
No, I thought about it, but I don't. But Howard's Beach is doing something really good. I mean, they've been one of the best nodes in the game since day 1. They're pushing to go for exclusive collection.
Dare you?
So I am. So whilst I enjoyed playing the game, it's different. The circle bit just sort of confused me a little bit, not being able to see the whole row.
Yeah.
It was an interesting twist to it, so I didn't mind playing it.
On the phone, did you notice that? Do you play on your phone?
It's sensitive.
I did.
It's sensitive. It's not a bad thing, but there's been a couple times where, especially on that level 6, man. I'm just trying to get it like right in the slot, and it just I'm like one little thing off. It just moves too fast.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't have those sensitive thingies. My problem, if there is one, was you know how like when you play flight simulator games or planes and that, sometimes you've got to push up to go down and down to go up or something like that. Just so I found that being the case with the for me, I'm thinking that the piece will move left or right, and I think it's more the circle of where you're placing it moves left right rather than the piece, and it seems to go backwards to what I actually wanted to do. It's just probably a habit. Once I played a bit more, I mean, I only played it for half hour this morning. Once I get more in the habit and sort of that muscle memory thing kicked in,
there you go.
Spit it out. Yeah, once you get that muscle memory thing kicked in, maybe I'll just get used to it and it'll be sweet. But it's kind of just that I kept going the wrong way and then I placed it in the wrong spot. But it was addictive. But yeah, I used up my 10 levels, 10 goes or whatever, and then it says. And I don't understand, like, do you just have to have 150 sparks sitting in your MetaMask account and then you can keep playing?
You have to have 150 spark in there?
But you don't have to, because I looked at it and go, is it going to cost me 150 spark to, like, have the membership? Like, because it costs you $5 or something. Like, if you wanted to get the premium, it costs like $4.99, which is not, it's not outrageous. But, and I very well may just do that rather than, because by the time I move some Sparklet into my MetaMask account, it's going to cost $5 in fees or something anyway. So
I just linked mine before we jumped on, and it opened it up. It was perfect.
Yeah, I just don't have any in my account because I put it all in Upland. So but then I've still got this issue of I'm playing like my home base is, well, my home address is set in Howard's Beach, Queens, and New York was an option for the city you can play in. So I'm like, okay, sweet, maybe all the New York, which makes sense because LA is huge and probably at the same amount of properties across the whole of LA as the flight node.
You have to have your home address in Manhattan for that to count, or like?
I don't know.
So Manhattan is the city.
Oh, does it? Because it just came up as New York. Well, that it was half an hour this morning, and I was still half asleep, so I probably didn't read it properly.
Yeah, it came with
New York, Manhattan.
So Manhattan, well, that sucks because A, I don't have any properties there, and B, again, I wanted Queens has been my home base pretty much for 3 years since I started playing Upland, and I've always had Howard's Beach. I've always owned properties there, and I want to be part of their push to become exclusive. I mean, it's a pretty noble cause. I don't particularly want to change it. So, I mean, I don't know how much supposedly Sparklet you get as reward for doing this. It'd have to be a decent amount.
It could be any number. It could be 5 million or going. it could be 7 million. X1. How many is it? How much Sparklet are we getting when LA wins this whole thing? How much can I expect to get divvied up amongst?
I did notice. I don't know.
Below me.
At the risk of opening old wounds here, I did notice quite a number of people jumping onto the LA bandwagon. Now, admittedly, if they're not allowed to use Queens because Queens is just not one of the 18 cities, then I understand that. But
let me put it on the record, though, before I did post a video today, and it wasn't live.
That's all your influence.
I did say well before, because I always say what time it is when I'm driving, and before the thing was launched, I said I'm going to be in LA. That's where my home address is. Just saying, no bandwagon guy here. I'm Granada Hills, LA.
Well, if I may, I call me bandwagon due to the fact that there's no Detroit. So if there was Detroit, I'd be running with my Wood Hood, my Sherwood Forest squad. But so I was a free agent, reached out. Some people reached out and was like, we running in LA. So I followed the herd and I'm in LA. I don't know what that means.
Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome in the bandwagon.
I'm running with LA.
I'm like, this Cyborg LA sort of.
No, you stopped.
Here we go. Here we go.
I had to go with the hometown, San Francisco.
You can play models.
You can.
Yeah, I need to understand.
If you stick to one city, you get the bonus. I did read the announcement. I am an informed Uplander. I do read the announcements.
Yeah. I might just end up paying the $5 just that premium. But again, it's not worth it if I'm not going to get any rewards, even if I get one of the top 3 cities. So I don't know. I have to think about it and work it out. Like I said, I don't want to move my home address from Howard's Beach. So
Well,
that's my holder, and that's a personal choice. I'm not saying everyone else should do the same.
like X1 saying, you can play multiple cities. And I was just messing around, clicking links that other people had posted on X, and to me, as far as I know, that's how it opened up other cities. Like it opened up Rio de Janeiro by clicking on somebody else's link. So you could play those. If
Well,
you
I deliberately went and found a link for New York, thinking Queens is part of New York, because it didn't say Manhattan. As far as I saw, it said New York, not Manhattan.
It does.
Queens is part of New York, so
in the announcement.
So I wouldn't move home. I wouldn't move home address. Doesn't make sense at this point. Just use the other links. Yeah.
So as long as as long as you're connected to the X platform, it sounds like you can play X stacks, right? Now, can anybody click on those links? Like, could anybody who's not playing click on those links and still play the stacks game?
Well, that's the whole idea, from what I understand. It's about getting. Obviously, we all know about it because we all play Upland. We get the alerts. We've been teased about it, stuff like that. But it's other people, the other millions of people on X that don't know about Upland, hopefully see a link like this, tag on it, go look at it, and maybe discover Upland as a result. Will it work or not? Maybe. Even if 1% of a million people, followed that link and found Upland, that's a large number of people.
Now that's huge. X1 just clarified that to you. Anybody can play. I mean, that opens up so many people to Upland. I mean, that's actually, I didn't realize that. That means, I mean, man, that like,
you didn't read the announcement, Happy.
Yeah, Happy.
If I can drive my car across this fucking state and I can read it at the same time.
In the snow and the ice. While going over the road.
All I saw, like,
that's
I
only because that's where the snow
I saw that
was
it said
supposed to
anybody
go.
can click on the link, but I didn't realize that you didn't have to have an Upland account. I thought you had to have an Upland account.
No, you can link it up.
Silly goose.
You just have to have an Upland account to get the Spark.
And that's where my hold up is, because I can't link it because my home address is in the wrong city. And that's my frustration with it. Like, because of my frustration, I'm not wanting to move from Howard's Beach. I can't link.
It sounds like maybe you just have to have a home address. It doesn't matter, but wherever you decide to play at it doesn't matter where you're home.
I can't link my X account because as soon as I try and do, I'll show you if you want. As soon as I try and do, it says no, your home address is not in a city that is one of the 18 nominated for the thing. Now, I assume that Queens is part of New York and there was an issue, but if New York is only Manhattan and the other 4 boroughs don't count, okay, I get that and I see where my issue is. You need to link up to get the Spark. So, yeah, and if I'm not paying $5 to not get any Spark, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or $5 in gas fees on the Ethereum network to get 150 Spark with it.
I mean, man, $5 buys you a lot of Spark right now.
So hang on, we might get. So in a few days, we've added a feature to link X outside your home address, so you'll be good to stay. Oh, awesome. Okay, well in that case, you're probably going to get my $5.
That's what I'm talking about. Get that money.
Again, I'm not opposed to. Okay, I've always liked Tetris. I've always been good at it. So I'm not to get to level 12. But that was on the phone. I hate playing on my phone. I'd rather play on the PC. I only got to 6 on the PC, so it goes to figure.
6 is hard, man. 6 is hard.
Yeah, but I did it first go on my phone. I worked out really quickly how to do it because you just need to get 4 in a row and then you're good. So I worked out how to do that on the phone and did it really easily, and then just struggled on the PC, even though I already knew how to beat that level. It was like, and I failed 10 times in a row, and most of the time it's because I kept pressing the space bar instead of just hitting the wrong button, so to speak. So it's user error.
Hey, I don't mean to like go back to something, but I do want to see if this theme music will play, if like you guys can hear it if I play it. So bear with me.
Hang on, just before you do that, well, how much time do you have before you have to go? And is there anything you want to talk about before you have to go?
I'm good. I got about 10 more. I'll get the text. Like, you better bring your ass inside. So I'm still good. I'm still good. Nothing on my end, man. Honestly, if for those who know, I'm heavily into the sports of Upland. Any type of pick'em challenge, any type of sports challenge, Wolf is in, man. I actually joined Upland because of NFL PA Legits. That's what actually caught my eye.
And you're a
And
Raider fan, right?
yeah, don't tell anybody. Yeah, I'm a Raider fan, man.
I'm a Dallas fan. But everybody
Yeah, I'm a Raider fan, man. I'm a diehard Raider fan, man.
That's not easy. That's not easy, Wolf.
No, it's not easy anymore, man.
You admitted it, so.
Nah, I take it. I stand on it. I stand on it.
I mean, hey, I'm a Niners fan, so you know.
Oh, you know how we go. Yeah, you've had yeah.
Well, Elsack's already asked, even though it's his channel, he's already asked permission to have a sports segment as one of the segments each week on the show.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Which obviously, especially if it's Upland related, there's no way I can say no to that because
Oh,
obviously
yes.
you got the soccer legits, you got the NFL,
Woo.
and who knows what other sports hopefully in the future. But when's their Super Bowl? That's next weekend,
It's
isn't it?
on next
That's
Sunday.
coming up Sunday.
Sunday.
So you need to maybe just your first show is a Super Bowl special show and just have a green light to talk Super Bowl.
I'm been invited
Okay.
to give my picks with Hyde Park Sunday. I think that's one of the few Sunday shows I kind of jump on because it's kind of early. Sunday. Chip
Yeah.
Kelly is the Raiders offensive coordinator. Yes. I know.
Oh man.
I know. He has no weapons, so what does it matter? But we'll see how it turns out, man.
Yeah, Pete Carroll. Look at
Yeah, I got Pete
Really?
Carroll too. Mm-hmm.
These are all names I've never heard of.
Yep.
But I'm really excited to go watch the NFL in my home city of Melbourne, Australia, when they do come out here, which apparently is October 26th. Apparently
yeah.
that comes home,
Oh.
so 18 months away.
It gives them time to save up.
Yeah. Oh, how good would that be if we did like a NFL/Australian meetup in Melbourne?
Wow.
I keep saying like that because that's how you guys say. We
Look,
say
if the
Melbourne.
Cowboys are playing in Melbourne, I'm gonna be there.
No, it's Philadelphia
Eagles.
and
Rams, right? Los Angeles Rams.
Oh,
Yep.
let's go Rams. I hate the Eagles more than anybody. Well, that's not true. I hate the Giants more, and then the Eagles.
Yeah, but that's only because they're in the same division, yeah.
Yes.
Kansas City Chiefs for me, my friend, by a long shot. It used to be San Fran because when I was Oakland and all of that, but I don't hate San Fran because the Raiders have moved a million times. But one mainstay on my hate list is the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree
I'm
with you
okay
on
with
that
KC.
one, man.
Especially when
I
they
hope,
win
I
3 in a
hope
row.
they
huh?
lose. I
Yeah,
hope
I'm
they
tired
go
of it.
Down in flames.
I hope so too.
My only concern about the NFL being out here in the stadium here, which is a huge stadium, it's a 100,000 seat stadium, so a decent crowd will probably be there, assuming they sell it out. Is that exactly as X1 says, it's an AFL ground. So, to put that in perspective, your NFL ground's slightly smaller than our rugby grounds, and an AF ground is probably 1.5 times bigger and an oval shape. So, in other words, if you're sitting in the stands, you're a long way from the sideline to begin with, given that your ground's so much smaller. So, insane hits in AFL. You need to X1, the rugby league. So the NRL is heading to Vegas for the second year in a row, starting I think later this month. Check in and check that out because rugby league it's got the insane hits. AFL is a bit of a touch and it's like a cross between soccer and they're nowhere near as tough as rugby league anyway.
Well, you're a little biased, aren't you?
A little bit.
And I don't know. Rugby players are bad motherfuckers, man.
So
And
rugby
no
league,
pads, nothing like.
there's
they're
none of this
bad
lying on the ground
motherfuckers.
pretending that you're hurt. Like guys will smack into each other and
No
they'll get up
flopping.
and keep running.
No
None of this
flopping.
lying-
Shit, Swarley, you got to do that. Those men run nonstop. They have to take a break every so often. How the fuck do you think they get it?
Yeah, there's
Sometimes they
no-
gotta take it,
there's
feign
not
an
like
injury real
20
quick.
seconds of play and
It's
4
the
minutes
water.
of break and
Otherwise,
20
it's
seconds.
going nonstop.
But yeah, if you want to check out a tough sport, but anyway, like I said, in Vegas, I don't know the exact dates, but there's a double header, so four teams are heading out there. I'd love to go out there and watch it myself, but
Come on out, partner.
I'd come on
Yeah.
out and we'll go to Vegas, and not for the meet, not for G Week, but for that. Maybe. Hey, who knows if crypto bull run does what it does? Maybe next year. Maybe I'll be able to do all this sort of stuff next year.
Maybe anything is
So,
possible.
yeah.
At least that's what Kevin Garnett says.
So, all right. So, what you're going to do? Some intro?
Yeah, I want to play this potential
Rugby players.
Upland After Dark
I missed
hit.
that one. I saw the
Real
joke.
quick, fellas, before I gotta roll, if there anybody in the audience, are you gonna do a wheel? Because I got a gold wolf shield to give away if you do a wheel, Swally. You know what I mean? Or LSAC. If y'all doing a wheel tonight, let me know.
I'm doing one.
I'm giving away a gold wolf shield. I got special things in store for people that have one.
All right. Well, how about we do a hashtag after dark or something?
Absolutely.
Dude, I already got it. Check this out. I already got you guys. Hashtag Upland After Dark.
Boom.
Check this out. Look, I already had it ready to go. Because I am
You're all over it.
prepared. Share.
Every now and again, you get things right, Elslack.
Dude, yes. The sun shines on a dog's ass every so often. Is that how that saying goes? I don't know.
No, it's like even a broken clock's right twice a day.
Yeah, that's probably a better one. Anyway. Rugby players are pussies. Thanks, X1. I've been trying to tell Swirly this for a long time, but he doesn't
They
ever
just say
listen.
that to their face.
Swirly, didn't you play rugby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If I start a fantasy rugby team, Swally, I'm gonna go to you. I'm coming to you.
I used to do all that, but I've sort of dropped it. As I get older, I sort of lost a little bit interest in all that fantasy stuff. But I used to be right into it.
Do they have fantasy rugby leagues?
Yeah, of course I do.
They have to.
Wow.
Of course they do.
Wow.
But you've really got to be up on it because with players in and
yeah.
out all the time.
Okay.
And you've really got to know your trades with the rookies that come in.
Right. The rookies. Yeah. Oh man.
So-
man.
Well,
I just have.
which league is it though? Is because you told me in Australia at least they have two different leagues, and I don't understand what the hell you're talking about. But you're trying to explain it.
Okay, well, I've mentioned to you that America pretty much only has the NFL dominates. There's soccer and a few other sports, but in the winter they pretty much have NFL, and that's about it. In Australia during the winter we have 4 sports, varying levels of popularity. But AFL is huge in the southern areas of Australia, which is what X1 referenced earlier. Rugby league is more popular in the northeast sort of side of Australia. Rugby union is mostly the same sort of area, so it's very similar to rugby league, but not as good. That's controversial. And then obviously we have soccer here as well. And our soccer is, although I think they're starting to play mostly over the summer now, the soccer, to be more in line with the European leagues and stuff like that. So
Your women's soccer team is good. Just saying.
yeah, it's like
We
it's
actually
like
have 3 big sports right now. You got the NFL, you got the NBA, and then you got the NHL. So hockey, football.
Nobody cares about the NHL though. Is the problem?
What's that?
Nobody
I like
cares about.
NHL. I like NHL. I do like
people,
NHL.
a
You
lot
can
of
like
people
it, but
watch
nobody
hockey,
cares about
man.
it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm a
not
New
one
York
of the-
Ranger.
You know what? It's like the most exciting sport to watch live. That's for damn
Yes,
sure.
it is.
I
It's awesome
agree.
live. It's awesome live.
100%, I agree with you, but nobody gives a shit about hockey.
Compared to the big 3, no. Compared to the big 3, but it's an awesome game though.
It is. We have we don't have a professional team here, but we have like a it's not an amateur team either. It's like a semi-pro team. Anyway, and it kicks ass when we get to go to those.
Yeah, always a good time.
Yeah, it's good. It's not soccer, I love me some soccer. It's not my Blazers, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna try to play this fucking song while we wait for the Upland After Dark thing, and then just tell me if the music comes through. College football, best live game experience. Yes, college football is very good.
don't at me.
Hockey is like really fast soccer. Jimmy Jester, get the hell out of here, man. Get the
Hockey is live. Hockey in person is one of the best to go to. I'm telling you.
look. Have you been to a soccer game?
University of Maryland, college.
I
Okay.
could imagine like a big soccer game would be pretty wild.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh, yeah. I would want to go to one. Yes, I would.
live very close to Soccer City, USA. Portland, Oregon. the Portland Timbers, you get into that stadium and that place is nuts, fucking nuts. It's an amazing experience. There's not an experience I've had in sports like that, other than the Dame Lillard 0.9-second shot. I was at that game. Other than that, I have not had an experience like the Portland Timbers ever in sports.
Go Timbers, baby.
Yeah, let's go Timbers. Season's starting up real soon. Hockey is like soccer, but with men. X1, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight.
I don't know, man. I agree. I agree with X1 on that one.
We're gonna have a Royal Rumble here. I'm gonna hit this button. I'm gonna see if music comes through. Tell me if you can hear it. Is that coming through?
Oh, it's like you're playing it in the background.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted. All right. It's not going to work the way I want. I was hoping it would just come through the computer and like broadcast into the stream, but it's being
on your
dumb.
mic.
Can you just turn it into like the intro real quick?
Yep, I can. Give me about 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I'm going to upload it into StreamYard, and then we'll go from there. MP3 audio. So give me just a minute as this downloads real quick. I got all the buttons here. Add.
I'll throw away for you.
Yeah, I know you will. You guys keep talking about sports and tell me how.
So I was going to say, kind of sad.
Please
no
tell me
collections
more.
were revealed on Thursday last week. I was a little sad that no collections got revealed. I'm wondering if we'll see any this week.
Well, I haven't looked at them closely. I feel like I don't want to say I know, but you know, you can always say that and it's never right. There is one collection or one neighborhood that I was kind of highly hoping would be a collection. I'm assuming that the 2 outstanding collections are both only limited collections, nothing higher, because it doesn't make sense if they're higher. Which one is the Quart? I can't pronounce it. Quarta de la Gare is the one that I was kind of hoping would be a collection. I haven't checked to see if it's been minted out or not.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the names, but I think I pretty much have at least 3 properties in most of the major neighborhoods.
All right, I think I got you guys ready for this.
Let's do it.
The debut of one of our potential Upland After Dark theme songs. Let's see if this comes through the way I want it to.
Yeah. When the night falls and the city sleeps, Upland After Dark, we hit the streets under the stars. They break the dark. Welcome to Upland. Here's where the real shit's about to start. Upland After Dark, where the conversation spark. The podcasting crew lighting up the dark. Upland After Dark, adventures to embark. Tune and unwind and feel the sweet sounds of voices in your mind. Voices in your mind. From tales untold, the voice is bold, guiding you through stories of new and old. When the shadows embrace, we find our space. Upland After Dark, your motherfucking safe space. Upland After Dark, where the conversation spark. The podcasting crew, lighting up the dark. Upland After Dark, adventures to embark. Tune in, unwind, and feel those sweet sounds of voices in your mind. Bringing those together with birds of the same feather. Rocking with this crew, there ain't nothing we can't weather. On the show we tackle all the issues. You wanna fuck around, you'll find out. We send you packing with your box of tissues. So come and join, let's get this right. In Upland After Dark, we own the night.
All right, that's basically it.
That's awesome. I love the piano riff, man. I love the piano loop. It rolls nicely, and I love the cadence. And thumbs up for me. Okay. You know,
that's the one I like the most. There's some other good ones in there, but I think that one's my favorite one.
Okay, keep running them past us. You know what I mean? We'll make an awesome decision.
They're in our Discord.
Okay,
that the few of us have access to. So check those out. Anyway, I just wanted to share a little something with you. I'll let that run, like I said, run in the background. Yeah, and we'll make a shortened version of that if that's the one we like. So
Absolutely. So, party people, Wolf's about to howl up on out of here. Peace and love. LSAC, let me know who wins that. Or if you're gonna run it right now, if we're gonna run the giveaway. If not, just shoot me the IGN on my
you want to do it right now before you dip out?
Well, let's do it right now.
Let's
Do
it
one
right
now. We'll do more giveaways at the end.
Yeah, we'll do more giveaways at the end. We'll do one right now.
Let's
Let
get
me-
it.
Come on,
Fine.
X1. Is X1 entered already? Does he have a wolf? You're not a cool, not a cool kid if you don't have a wolf, X1.
You're gonna need
Come on
it.
up in here, X1. Come get a wolf, man.
It's free
Yes.
if you win.
It's free, but it's priceless.
Yes, sir.
There it is. All right, we got 6. All right, let's do this. Who's it gonna be? Who's gonna win this wolf?
That'd be funny if it's X1.
Oh, I thought for a second. I thought.
All right,
for a
Red
second.
Mars did.
X1 almost got it. No cigar.
Almost got it.
Almost.
All right,
Ryan Monson, congrats. Send me the IGN, and I'll get that to you ASAP, my friend.
That's a new name too, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty new. I think he's been on a couple. I've seen a couple
Okay.
times. See his name show up a couple times. All right, Wolf. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Go back inside. Go get some rest. You got a big day tomorrow. Keep educating.
Peace and
them
love,
kids.
fellas.
Yeah, and we'll be talking real
Yeah, well-
soon.
Night Wolf.
Peace, all. Peace, happy. Later, y'all.
Later.
Alrighty. So that'd be exciting. Like I think he'd be you and him and Happy. I think it'd make a fantastic show. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited to be in the background helping out and preparing, giving you guys a material to work with. Try and keep you on track. So I'll probably hope virtual whip in the background, like, wait, back on track.
Yeah,
Stop
just-
talking about politics and whatever else that you
you
waffle on
never
about.
talk about politics.
And
Hey,
whatever
we've
else.
done a pretty good job this show.
So and and like I like the fact that Elsak asked me if we could do a sports section. Well, hang on, it's your channel. I can't really stop you from saying what you want.
I'm inclusive, Swarley. I'm a
But-
team player.
The thing is, you got the two people in the background and both non-Americans. So and knowing that not a lot, especially I think LeBan knows even less about the American sport. So
You guys better figure it out.
So you kind of get a little bit of feedback from the non-American audience, which is good. Obviously, the vast majority of the audience is American, but especially at this time slot, it's a perfect time slot for the Australians, given that we're nearly up past 4 p.m. over here at the minute. So, yeah, so whilst, yes, you'd be able to talk about American sports, probably not exclusively. And not waffle on for half an hour or an hour. Oh, we both at the same time.
Damn it.
So this is why you're going to leave it up to me in the future.
Yes.
This will be my job.
This will be your job. I'll leave it up to you.
So thank you for that, excellent. I do try to give, at least tell people my thoughts. Whether I'm right or not, that doesn't really matter. But I do try to tell people my thoughts on Sparklet and why I'm so bullish on Sparklet itself, which I think this game today has got more ramifications for Sparklet than Upland, which I'm not mad about. Again, hopefully it does filter down to Upland as well, but it kind of directs people straight to Sparklet, which is a great start. Honest take, good analysis, in my opinion. Thank you. Yeah, so, hey, small micro caps don't run to the end of the bull run. The end of the bull run isn't hopefully going to be until the end of this year, so people need to stop worrying about what the current price of Sparklet is and acquire and hope for the best at the end of the year if they want to try and make a buck from it. Otherwise, just buy it and play the game.
That's right. I've been
So the
pushing my
best part about it is that you can actually use it for something. There's a lot of other BS meme coins. that
Exactly
you
right.
could, throw your money in, and it's not going to do anything for you. At least you can build a little house or some assets or whatever.
We saw the Trump coin go from nothing to $8 billion overnight.
And
Not
then back to
suggesting-
nothing almost, right?
And then
Like,
back, oh, not nothing, but it's still like a 1 or 2 billion market. Oh no, it's a couple $100 million.
I mean, still,
Something
like
like that.
most people lost money on it, though.
Yeah, 98% or something. Yeah, so
Yeah.
where that's just not going to happen with Up. Well, I'm not saying it's not going to happen with Upland. At least Upland has a purpose behind it So even if you don't sell because you missed the pump or something like that, obviously you can still use it to play the game. So to compare Upland or Sparklet to a meme coin, I've always taken it, not offensive, but I've always hated that because Sparklet is anything but a meme coin. Meme coin has one purpose only. That's to buy and dump. Whereas Sparklet, well, people can do the same thing with Sparklet. It also has the use case. And to Upland's credit, we are slowly seeing more increasing in this in the utility of Sparklet. So hopefully that just keeps growing and growing, and the demand that people need for it. I mean, Sparklet Wars, it even got me taking the vast majority of my Sparklet out of all my builds and throwing them into superstructures, which wasn't even for me. I was building them for other people. Okay, granted, I was a gun for hire because I backed out of the wars and became, I guess, a mercenary for the week. But
I think it's only going to get it's going to get become more important when they update the Sparklet and like how much things are going to cost. I'm missing the words that I need to say, but I know
the rebalance. You're talking about the rebalance.
Thank you being my word I couldn't think of.
Well, if and when that comes, and how much that rebalances, I don't know. I mean, I've been sort of waiting for it ever since they brought it out. The Sparklet was launched. You know that because I had 15 pages of structures underway. I'm now down to 6 pages. The rebalance, it'll be interesting. I can see that being more people, getting a bit butthurt about it than.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was for the week. I sold all my stuff, and you know what? I went and bought just to, show them all my cards. I went and bought $300 worth of Sparklet with my. I sold some property. It wasn't just the map assets and structural ornaments that I sold, so I did sell some structures.
You went all in after that. You're like, you know what? Fuck this. You guys are gonna be nasty. I'm gonna go buy Sparklet.
So I went and bought. So with all my profits from the week, I went and bought $300 worth of Sparklet, which I was not mad about, and
great price right now.
And then I was getting paid to, stake all my Sparklet on people's other superstructures. And now that's going straight back into the community. I've got, I think, 10, 15 apartments all sparked up, getting built by the community. So giving that back at half the cost. So of course, I'm going to make a profit out of it, so to speak.
Of course.
But having said that, share the love. So, yeah. We'll see what happens in the future of the wars and where that goes, but didn't that get heated?
Yeah. And that was, look, Sparklet, I think Upland's making enough changes. People are going to say, hey, focus more on the game. I think this is a big piece of the game. Oh, that's too bad.
Good night.
All right. Good night, X1. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. I think it's no, I lost my train of thought now. Fuck. Oh, the stacks. I think the stacks is an addition to Upland that just brings more eyes. Like, we need these things, even though maybe that's not like the main focus, but we do need to have things outside of Upland that bring people in, whether it's through a game that just has Upland in the name. So you're like, hey, what is this thing? And then you find yourself diving in, even if it's just a couple people here and there. Just the fact that it's bringing, anybody can play this game. Anybody in the world can look at this and then see, oh, what the fuck is this Upland thing? Oh, I want to hold on to this Spark. If I get Sparklet in my MetaMask, which adds to the value of Sparklet, just to get a free account so I don't have to wait till tomorrow to continue playing this 3D Tetris game. I think this is all good. This is sort of stuff we need. I'm fine with holding off on, or not seeing a lot of like major developments in Upland proper. If it means this is some of the stuff we're going to get that's really going to drive Upland, Sparklet, and all of that forward.
See, I'm on the fence a little bit there because whilst I think it is good, may get more people towards Upland and Sparklet. I'm all for that, obviously. I also want them to fix the problems that we have with the game. And sometimes I get the feeling that there's not enough focus on the current issues, such as white screen crashes. And that's not, obviously the iPhone's by far and away the worst, but it's not exclusive to the iPhone.
That absolutely needs to get fixed. Like,
So,
I don't even think that's like that should be, that's like a number one key element that needs to get fixed immediately.
I'm not a programmer. I have no clue, but I'm scared that maybe it's just too big of a problem. Like it's so deep embedded into the code, or it may need to like a whole rewrite of the code. Too big of a job, if that makes sense, to fix sooner rather than later. And if that's the case, then that does scare me a little bit. Especially someone jumping on and checking out Upland for the first time on an iPhone, clicks on the chat, sees it crash 3-4 times in a row when you're trying to look at the chat. That's not a good experience. And
nobody's going to adopt Upland on iPhone if they can't actually play the game, no matter how much they value Sparklet or this Cool Stacks game. The second that happens, like, well, fuck that. I guess I'm just going to play this game, and that's as far as that goes.
So, I mean, and not as important for new players, but the UGC, being able moving map assets, stuff like that, that's got to get fixed. It's got to be a simpler way to do it. I'm almost positive there already is a simpler way to do it. It's just not available to players.
Right.
So, as much as obviously I want to see more Miles ads like we used to see in the Brave browsers and whatnot. But obviously X is one of the biggest apps out there in the world, so anything on X is a good start. I'm certainly not going to be mad about that, and I'll try and do my bit with it. I'm only just one of thousands of players, so if we all do our bit, just maybe some other people will see Upland and come to check it out.
I mean, look at this. The three of us basically fell in love with Upland with all its flaws, everything. There's going to be plenty of other people in the world that are going to do the same. And that's the main point, is that you're getting that many more eyes into the game. You know what I mean? And more people to actually put money in, whether or not they stick around or not, a whole other story, right? But that's where you get your bull run from, is your whole new influx of players.
But you want to have the best possibility of having player retention as possible, and the lowest hanging fruit is this white screen crashes on iPhones. I think like this has to be something that is a massive focus, because look how many people have iPhones. I don't, because I think they're fucking dog shit and they're garbage and they're stupid, and everybody who has one is probably in the same boat as that.
Man, I don't know. ChatGPT says that iPhone beats Android hands down.
What did I know, But anyway, there's a lot of people that are iPhone exclusive or Apple exclusive, everything. That's a massive audience that you're just getting, that you won't be able to retain if you can't fix the app. So that way those players can play. And that is a big bougie population of people that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, that are really suckers for anything.
I mean,
I'll be honest. Those people in Upland. We need the suckers that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. They'll just throw money at underpowered and overpriced things.
Yeah, but that's where you lose people more so than white screen crashes. That's why, I'll preach they need to add an in-game marketplace over everything. Like that needs to be number one. Is it some kind of
more so than white screen crashes? The divided population.
Yeah, because I think white screen crashes are more when it becomes a core function of the game. So when you start moving shit around, you're getting crashes, and that's on PC as well as iPhone. So I think getting someone in buying stuff first is probably more important almost than the crashes, but they both should be right up there. Anyway, so we've gone from a positive of stacks to a negative of crashes.
If you can't see the market because your phone crashes, how the hell is that more important? You couldn't even get to it.
No, well, in my experience,
you're still able to. It's not like your phone's crashing left and right. It's really only if you go into a neighborhood that's really built up.
I've seen. Look, I don't have that problem. I'm an Android user.
Else, like you're typically looking at neighborhoods that are much more built up than a lot of other parts of Upland, and so that's going to crash way more. Like if you're in a part of the game where there's not a lot of buildings, it doesn't crash at all.
Okay. Well, I thought like didn't just the chat crash it?
Yeah, I can't look at any of the notifications.
The chat sucks on iPhone.
No notification.
I can't look at any notification that Upland does on my iPhone. All I can do is open it up and it'll crash, but it will clear that notification that I got. And then I go to Discord and actually read what the notice is. Anyway, let's move on from that. Do we want to talk about wars anymore? Because I did say, we talked briefly last week about suggestions of how to improve the game. And we talked about, once you bypass, you're stuck with that team. You can't change factions, all that sort of stuff, which I personally disagreed with. But did anyone catch YK 2012's video from the last day or so?
I have not that one yet.
So he only does really short ones, like 2 or 3 minute ones. But he was talking about his idea, and I don't know if he put a feedback thing in there for it, but his idea was with these superstructures that were all built on massive properties that you couldn't reach even if you own the one right next door to it. So people have suggested, be on a stake on your cannons to give them longer range, stuff like that. Even we mentioned last week about having your block explorer might have a bomb that you can sort of drift over the top and drop on a superstructure or something like that to maybe reduce their points for a day or something. But he's suggesting that maybe the points should be scaled. So the smaller the property that it's on, the more points it's worth. In other words, if you put it on a property that's only just big enough for it, it's going to be surrounded by a lot of other properties that can clearly reach it. But that it requires more teamwork from the team to protect it and make sure it's not losing points. But because it's on such a small property, then it earns more points. And I saw that and just went, well, that's a really good idea.
That's a really good idea.
So just because that was probably one of the really sucky bits about it was once you built one of those superstructures on, and it's good strategy. I mean, you use the rules to your advantage, but once you build a superstructure on one of those huge properties, it's untouchable. And like, I know there's like in wars, there's a front line and whatever, but like, there needs to be some way, like everything needs to be able to counter. That's the other issue with the cart. There's no counter. Everything needs to be countered. Like, there needs to be some form of, and it needs to almost come a full circle. So once you counter the cart, then you're back to the start where the first item then counters whatever was counting the cart or whatever. So it needs to be a full circle type scenario, and not just an almost a bomb type solution. This one just devastates everything and you can't do anything about it. Like that's kind of what the carts were, and the superstructures were the same. That they were just too big, you couldn't reach, and there's nothing you could do about it. So you had two massively overpowered, I don't know what you call them, massively overpowered elements to this game, and there needs to be some way of being able to counter those two things.
Right.
But yeah, I just thought I wanted to point that out because like YK 2012's idea, I thought was a great one.
That sounds like a great idea.
So encourage more superstructures on smaller properties that have more potential. So, so I mean, if your whole team owns all the properties around it, well and good. But that requires, or if you own all the properties around it, well and good. But it requires you to own or buy all those properties. And if you can do that, well then so be it. But and then maybe then we still look at the increasing staking on a cannon to increase its range, or
I love
some sort of bomb on the block explorer.
There should be a way to reach properties that are like really big. That there should be nothing that is untouchable, I think.
Good morning, Maui.
Yeah, everything needs a counter, right? Like,
yeah. There shouldn't be anything.
I'm just gonna take. Right, everything needs to balance itself out one way or another, But I think it all boils down to like what TML was talking about is. Like all these rules, everything you want to do, it's not going to matter. It's always going to boil down to what team is the most organized and kind of like has that element of has the most spark as well, right? Like that team is always going to win.
But if the cyborgs, like let's say we can choose factions and the cyborgs just keep getting stronger and stronger every season, they're just going to create that, because everyone loves an underdog. So everyone that's not a cyborg is going to want to gang up against the cyborgs. And if we do create a balance of all this sort of stuff, the other two factions probably will almost join up and just, almost have a truce or a ceasefire with each other and just focus their attention on the cyborgs. And I can see it eventually just becoming too much for the cyborgs on their own, whilst there's 2 versus 1 almost, if they keep the teams balanced, at least with numbers.
And what about those fringe players that are just outside of scoring, but because the cyborgs are too powerful, you start losing those fringe players, and maybe they defect to their side, hoping that they can get up on that leaderboard if they are able to pull out that win. I mean, it's no loss for them.
Again, I've said my views last week. I'll say it again. I still think it's a team event. It needs to be team yield, so everyone gets the same prize. Yeah, you might lose a few big players that aren't interested in just getting a block explorer and a tiny bit of spark, but you're going to get a lot. I reckon 10, 20, 30 players for every one whale that goes, oh, hang on, so I'm going to get a half decent prize by contributing and scoring at least 1 point. I'm in. So I think, for every whale that we lose, we're going to get 10, 20, directors or even pros go, I want to be involved in this. I can get a BE and a tiny bit of spark. Yeah, I'm going to be involved. And when I say a tiny bit of spark, 1,000 spark for someone that's got none isn't tiny. Like, it's a start.
True that.
Assuming it's 200 players and a prize pool of 200 sparklets. So, that's just my 2 cents. So.
Yeah, I'm excited about whatever happens in Las Vegas and Spark Wars. I don't know exactly what part I'm going to play in it, but I definitely know I'm going to play some part.
I'm not sure that I will. But we'll see.
I think I'm just going to do the same thing as I did this last time for the most part. Just sell a few things, collect a few things, and not really even participate in the war. Like, if there's anybody close by, I'll try to neutralize them or hit them with a cannon, but other than that, I'm not stressing myself out for anything. Like, I don't have enough spark to where I'm going to be in the top, contenders, and so.
Look, the for the week, the leasing of or renting out the sparklet was very profitable. When I made almost 300,000 sparklet just renting out my sparklet for the week, which is a pretty,
that's huge.
Amount.
Healthy,
which I was going to withdraw and put back into Upland, and I thought, no, bugger it, I'll just put it back into Spark Exchange and get all my apartments built. So I've re-spent all that. I've got, like I said, 15 plus contracts going now for my apartments. So that'll help smash down all the builds that I got going. So I can say that's probably going to be my role again. We'll see. I can't see myself wanting to get involved, and I can't see it being as profitable this time either as it was for like a mercenary or a arms dealer, so to speak. Because people already have, especially the big guns. Like, you look at, I spoke briefly with Nerds Logic, who smashed it and got a decent little kitty as a result, which he paid for. Don't worry, he paid well and truly for. But he had something in the range of, I think, 50 structural ornaments. So, when you got someone that's already got 50 odd, chances are he's not going to need to buy another 50 for the next wars.
Right. Well, who's to say
it depends on what structure they use
in Vegas, right? Like, that's the other thing, is changing cities every time. There's always going to be a different element there.
Upland have already said you can use these structural ornaments for future wars. So, whilst yes, they might produce, say, instead of the micro and the apartment for this war, it might be like a small townhouse and a ranch house. Who knows? Like any two of the other structures. Yeah, they might do that. But what I'm saying, he's already got 50 that do count. So he might want to get some more. Chances are he's not going to want to get 50 more.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, he could end up, and to your credit and your point, he could just end up spreading those around, because what if he doesn't have 50 properties with buildings on them, right? And so, the market gets that much more flooded. Plus, it's just more supply on the market, period.
Exactly right. Which is why I will be going to it a bit more cautiously. If I buy stuff, it's probably more for myself if I do buy stuff. But I don't know. I can't see myself being a cyborg. And it's not because I have any issue with anyone in the cyborg teams. I like the underdog story. I like taking on the big guy. And to be fair, I'd rather see one of the other two factions, even out rather than be part of the cyborgs.
Yeah. I always wanted to be a pirate, like, from the beginning.
Yeah, if you saw and I never saw who won that competition, but there was a flash challenge to create your avatar into one of the three factions, which I did, and I chose pirates when I did that. I'm not saying that's where I'm going to end up being, but pirates or knights, one of the two. If I even do it, like, I might not even buy the pass, so we'll have to wait and see. See how I feel when we get, see what changes they've made to it, whether it makes it more exciting or not.
I think they're going to have some exciting changes. I do think that like each beta will have a different iteration. There'll be something new and exciting that they probably already got sitting on the side, just waiting to unveil, just slowly bringing on more strategic.
Kind of wish we had X1 here still, because I could ask him this question, but because it was never announced and we don't know how the scoring went from the staking of Sparklet for the superstructures, I don't know whether that was even that became profitable or not in terms of the points, because I had staked over 300,000 for pretty much the entire week, and it scored me like 140, 150 points. Now, put that in perspective. Of course, I was doing nothing like Nerds Logic, but he scored 8,500 points. I scored 150 with 300,000. I doubt there'd be many players out there that staked more. There would be some, but I doubt there'd be many that staked more than I did. And I got 150 points, 170 points from 300,000 Sparklet for an entire week. That didn't seem to be a good balance in terms of points.
Staked on other factions?
I did have some staked on TMLs for a day or two, but I pretty much built one of Nerd Logic's superstructures so he sent out a message in chat. I think he might even contact me personally and said, and his bar contract was higher than what TML was offering, an extra 1 UpX per hour or some. So I jumped ship from TML's one, which was an enemy faction. So maybe I wasn't getting points for that. I don't know. But then onto Nerds Logic. So I'd put, I think, 280 Sparklet or 280k Sparklet on Nerds Logic's building, and pretty much from the start right through to the end. So I would have built more than half of that structure on my own, and it got me 170 points. So I'm like,
man, you might as well have 0. It's not going to get you in. It's so insignificant.
I mean, it's Sparklet Wars, and yes, you need Sparklet to create the buildings and the structures, not just the superstructures, but the other buildings as well. So that's a lot of preparation before the war starts. Because like in this war, you couldn't build an apartment fast enough during the week to have it there the last day. You actually had to start it before the war started. So yeah, there are other avenues where Sparklet is important for the wars. But like being one of the biggest players, I was probably one of the biggest holders of Sparklet. I was a bit disappointed how few points it actually awarded for how much I dedicated to that week. Now, I wasn't doing it for the points. In fact, I didn't even know at the start that it even offered points. I was just basically being a bitch for hire and earning UpX for it, which I then turn around and use back in the Spark Exchange for other people. So it's just, again, I just don't know that balance was right. But then again, I mean, can you earn 5,000 points for building a superstructure that earns 270 points a day for being up? It's probably not. So where that balance is, I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty heavy on like structure ornaments over everything.
Yeah.
And maybe that was just how the leaderboard was designed.
I think just having the apartment structures that they were, 70 points a day. So yeah, you're only getting 7 points on day one and 14 points on day two, but it builds up quite quickly. So assuming they weren't being attacked or something like that. And when you look at that, one apartment structural ornament way outscored 300,000 Sparklet. Is that right or wrong? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just, from my personal point of view, of course, I'm going to whinge and bitch and say it didn't seem right. But then at the same time, you don't want Sparklet dominating the war and, structural ornaments and that being almost useless against someone that's got 300,000 Sparklet. But where the balance is, I don't know. I just think 150 odd points, whatever I got for 300,000 for a week, just didn't seem right. But
yeah, it definitely should have been a lot higher, for sure.
Maybe it should get a percentage of how many points that structural ornament scored for the week or something. I don't know. Or maybe that's how it works. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. But again, Upland never announced that there was even scoring for Sparklet staking.
True.
So, let alone how the actual scoring works. So it'd be nice to know those sort of. We knew how the scoring worked for structural ornaments and everything else. Why didn't we know for that? And then, okay, maybe it was a late addition they added at the last minute. Awesome. Great addition. Fantastic. Love it. As we said 1,000 times already. Just freaking tell us the details of how it works. I was asking in chat and had different people, offer different explanations, and I went back and looked at the maths and some of them and just went, no, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, they could definitely have been a lot more clear on those scoring and everything.
Yeah.
I just kind of stopped caring, because it just didn't even, like, I had 100 points on day one and 100 points at the end of it, I think. So
You weren't too invested to begin with, though. You were just kind of
yeah,
there.
you know, like so for me, for the most part, like with everything in Upland, in the very beginning, I'm not going to go all out because
Yeah.
you know, like there's so much more that's going to happen, and there's so much that's going to be redone. Like I typically wait until things are running a lot smoother to jump in. Like I just now started doing map assets, and that was like the easiest thing in the world for me. I mean, a lot of that's because I just paid somebody to do it, right? You know, but it was like my factory was opened up within 48 hours, you know, and I mean, now I'm waiting to get approval, and I mean, we'll see, you know, but it's not going to be nearly as frustrating for me as somebody who was first starting off, waited months and months to even get a factory approved, and then, you know, waited months and months to even get their first design approved, right?
But there was a lot more money to be made back in those days too. By being first,
you know,
first to market.
And that's the risk that Pioneer take. You
go look back at what TML and Too Stupid and some of the other guys were releasing, because they were one of the first to market. And there was 10 of them. I think Ben 68 was even one of the first 10. And what they were selling stuff for compared to what the market sells for now, that's just, you know, it's just pennies on the dollar compared to what it used to be. So, so you do, but yeah, you're 100% right. Obviously, the headaches and they went through then, and they had something in a small factory, and it'd only be in that one factory in those days, and they only had a small factory at start, so they all built a small factory, submitted their applications with their map assets, got approved, started producing the small factory, and they went, oh, here you go, we can have a large factory now. And they're like, well, you can't because it's in the small factory. You can't have it in a large factory.
Right.
So, and that was a whole issue in itself. So, but Upland's obviously addressed that now, so you can have it in any factory.
And I mean, did they make that much more money to where it's really, really worth it? You know, at the end of the day, I mean,
I don't know.
Likely, you know, I guess more than likely, yeah, they probably did pretty good. You know, but you know, I got a feeling I'm still going to do all right, and
I feel like
put in 10 times less the effort.
I feel like the first 10 had a real advantage being first to market and some of the profits they made. Because at that stage, there were no map assets on the market. So to own something and put it in front of your property was like, cool. And that was probably fairly close to the end of the bull run as well. So when there was a lot more people floating around with a bit more UpX floating around. So anyway, but hopefully we have another bull run this year and we'll start seeing stuff sell. But yeah, I mean, everything just seems to be getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And I bought a whole bunch of structural ornaments yesterday for 1,500 UpX. That's because the structural ornaments just aren't selling anymore.
Well, like you said, I mean, there's so many of them on the market. It's like that's where you have supply and demand imbalances, you know, and like especially when you got people that are creating millions of mints for what they're putting out, the market just gets flooded. And before you know it, you know, somebody could create something amazing, but it's, you know, you'll never even see it because there's no way to sort through all these map assets.
Well, that's another issue, isn't it? I was looking today. I've got, because of all my factories and stuff, I've got like 3,500 structural ornaments in my list, and it's just so hard to find. Even just to apply one for a building, like it doesn't just go to the one. Like if you only brought up the ones available to that building because it's, you know, has a line of code that says show only available on this property, then it'd be awesome. But I've got to scroll through 3,500 to find the one that's somewhere in that list that I can apply, and it's just a pain in the ass. Anyway, what else? Let's move on from that. What else we got to talk about? Like I said, I haven't prepared a running
Block Explorer sale tomorrow.
Yes, there's a sweetener sale.
That's not cheap either.
No, it's like $20 to $60, I think.
Yeah, I won't be participating, but you know, good luck to anyone that does. No doubt they'll sell them all, especially the $20 one, but they'll sell them all fairly quickly, I would think.
Yeah,
because
the $60 one will sell pretty quickly because it's so limited.
Well,
how many of them are there?
The $60 one, there was less of them, but there's still a few. Do you want me to share and show?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a gander, shall we?
All right, so I'll present. Share screen, entire screen, that one, go. All right, so I don't want to look at Mr. I'll get you out of the way. So we've got. Oh, let's start at the top. So there's only 20 of them for $60. So that will sell pretty quickly.
And that's not bad. I mean,
And because there's only 20, they'll be worth a lot of season points for the collector points. Because that's even rarer than all the stuff that Upland were giving away at the end of the season for various competitions and stuff, which were 1 of 25s. So that, in theory, should offer more points.
Well, I kind of like that one. I like that Block Explorer.
As you can see, I haven't registered for any of them.
Oh, I like that one too. Shit.
that one's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm not sold on it.
I actually like all of these.
These ones I didn't think were all that great. I mean, they're okay, but what is that supposed to be? A fireplace?
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like a campfire, but with ice fire or something. I don't know. There's 140 of them, so they're not going to be worth much for collector points, as opposed to 1 of 20. But even this one at 120, it's still a lot, I guess, in terms of. It'll be worth more points than a season pass, but I don't know. Again, I don't know how.
Only 4 times the points. It's what, 4 times the price? 3 times the price?
Yeah. Well, so I mean, if you're chasing the points, you want this one. But again, I don't know. Is it worth $60? And all you get at the end of it is a Block Explorer. Maybe if you end up with top 3, get a badge or something. I don't know. Again, like.
Well, that's kind of the crazy part, right? Because a lot of the payouts for all these competitions and games and everything is nothing even close to what you're going to have to invest to win. How much do you think Nerds Logic spent between up and
I asked him that. I actually asked him that question and said, so would it have been cheaper for you just to buy the spark? Because he got a good amount of sparklet from his wallet. I won't yell it out here. I did go look at the blockchain just to see how much it was. I didn't. I'm not going to out him. If anyone wants to look at the blockchain, they can look at it themselves.
I'll be right back.
But he got a decent amount, like a really good amount. And I asked him the question, I said, would it have been cheaper for you just to buy the sparklet? Now, if you know the amount that he got, you know how many bundles he would have needed to buy from the shop, and that'll give you an idea of how much it would have cost him just to buy the sparklet. And he said his answer was buy a factor.
Really?
So I didn't ask him to clarify exactly what he meant by a factor. It could be a factor of 1.5. It could have been a factor of 5. I don't know, but let's just say, I mean, he does own the structural ornaments, and it's an investment to future wars. So it's not purely, that was his cost, and this is what he got back, and it wasn't profitable, because he could very well, and probably very well, feature in the top 3 of the winning faction for the next, for all the wars this year. So the payout is still obviously coming to him, no doubt, if he can stay up there or thereabouts. But in a sense, he would have been cheaper for him just to go and buy a bunch of bundles from the shop than to spend how much he did on. So I guess it's an investment in the long-term future, which it's each player's to figure out. I couldn't personally justify that myself because you just don't know what city the next one is. Now, for me, Las Vegas is not a stronghold. That was my first ever city release that I was involved in. So I was a very small fish back in those days. I owned very few properties there, especially bigger ones. So for me personally, this is a terrible city for a wars. Yet if they go into Queens, where I own, still own 1,200 properties, I would have loved it.
Right, because you pretty much got everywhere cornered.
Right? I could take all those logics times 10 and probably apply them all. Do I have all the structures for it? No, I've got a fair number of structures in Queens, but not 1,200. So I'd never be able to use up all 1,200 in the wars, but I could certainly strategically move them around quite a fair bit. Even Washington for a bit there. I've sold a lot of properties now in Washington, but I had a fairly strong hold there for a bit with second highest number of properties, not UPEX wise, but number of individual properties, because I'd built a treasure map out there. And I was treasure hunting up until the point they pretty much killed treasure hunting. So
Washington was a pretty good treasure hunting city, huh?
Washington was awesome because it was a tier 1, but it only had 30,000 properties. And even if it had the expansion, which they're talking about, it only took it up to, I think, 50 or 60,000. You compare that to LA, that's 350,000. Like, which one would you rather hunt at? The one with 50,000 or the one with 300 and something thousand?
Actually, LA's like 600,000
or whatever. It's ridiculously
but
huge.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
and anyone,
astronomically bigger.
No one should ever treasure hunt LA. I mean, that is, even for an experienced hunter, that's a challenge, especially with all the rules and arrows and stuff like that now. Even someone that knows what they're doing now, I don't have a web by any stretch of the imagination, so I have to pretty much do most of it by like
in LA last season. We did that together. Remember that?
Yeah, I can do it, and I very rarely miss them. Very rarely miss them. But at the same time, I can spend 7, 8, 9 cents a treasure. To put that in perspective, I used to average 0.5, 0.6 cents for treasure in Queens. But then I had 1,800 properties at one point in Queens, so that obviously made it pretty easy too. But I only ever had something around the 90 odd properties in DC, and would have well under one ratio of 1 cent per treasure there. So it's just, LA is just ridiculously hard to treasure hunt, and I think treasure hunting should change per city to try and even it out. So where it's so hard to treasure hunt in LA, it should be there should be other factors that make it easier, like bring back in those arrows or being a bit generous or something like that. And then make it harder for the easier cities to treasure hunt. Because right now, Miami Beach, it would be up there as one of the best cities to treasure hunt. Very small, not super expensive. Although everything you have to go on the secondary market, you couldn't mint it out so fast. You couldn't really have minted a web. I mean, Queens had never really minted out, so I could build a web mostly by minting, and then getting only a few properties on the secondary. The only issue I really had there was collections and nodes. That used to be my bugbear with Queens.
Hey, speaking of Miami Beach, how's that racetrack on Schlong Island looking?
We're not hit the 3 months. We haven't hit the 3 months. I was looking at the other day. We're in the 80. We're in the 80 days range. So probably another week or two, I can send an email going, "Hey, what's doing?" And they'll go, "Oh, here we go," and click a button and give it to me, and allow me to build.
We need that.
Oh yeah, we forgot about you. Here you go.
No, they literally, like, my experience so far, and I've got 2 racetracks now, is you submit the application, they say wait 12 weeks, and if you bug them before the 12 weeks up, your reply is wait 12 weeks. We told you to wait 12 weeks, so wait 12 weeks. And then when you wait the 12 weeks and then bug them, they go, "Oh, here it is." So, yeah, and then like you obviously build it, then they say wait 2 weeks for it to be, activated. So nothing will happen for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks time you go, "I finished this 2 weeks ago. What's doing?" And I go, "Okay, no, here it is." And then you just got to wait the time, and no doubt other things have been terrible and they've improved. So maybe tracks will be the next thing that they get better at doing down the track.
Maybe. I just can't wait to see it. Les Johnson Run.
It's a boring track in terms. It's almost like a NASCAR track.
Just circle like a square almost.
Pretty much, almost like a rectangle, yeah. Because that's all you can do on that.
Right, there's only like those 2 bridges there, or connectors that go across.
Down near the shaft, we were able to make a couple of turns just to give it a little bit of variety.
Oh,
but
yeah,
basically, it's a pretty large track too. So you basically want S1.
2 miles long.
Well, you don't want to have too many bins in the schlong.
No.
It's going to be a track for faster cars with their boosting.
This
with very few corners. So if you hate corners and you like boosting, this will be the track for you.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, yeah.
Very good.
But Jimmy Jester says he's hunting in LA with 200 properties, and it's still brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need more than 100 properties to have a decent treasure hunting web, that's a tough city.
I've got, I think, 50 properties, but the vast majority of my properties are either in Hyde Park or Granada Hills. So outside of those 2, I think I've got 3 in that Robot City one. I forget what neighborhood that is. But again, none of my properties are ever bought with a web in mind. So it's almost like I don't have a web. And of course, even though I've got like a crap ton of Hyde Park properties, I've never had a treasure that's been in Hyde Park. So I was like, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? So yeah, I hate, and I did, because of that challenge, and I'm assuming I didn't win, I don't know who did, those for that fire relief thing when they had the challenge there and you had treasure
Maybe
hunt
they never
there.
announced it. You never know. Maybe you're still in hunt.
Yeah, right. We all know what it's like. So
Look,
I did.
You on a winning streak? I saw your name come up.
Yeah, I know.
The other day, you won something.
KO gave me 10K, and I
Yeah.
spent it instantly. Actually, I should do that. I should be nice and I might do a shout out because he gave me a really good price. I'm not going to say what price he gave me. I don't want everyone running to him, knocking on his door, saying I want the same price. But let me keep talking. I'll find the shop and then I'll share.
But what is it that he sold you?
A bunch of map assets.
Oh, map asset
For 10K.
No, well, I spent a lot.
You're not telling
I did spend a lot more than 10K. So that 10K plus probably another 40 or so, 50 went with it.
I reached out to BAMTech the other day to get my vehicle showroom property. Just happens to be in Granada Hills, and he was very generous. And I gave him a decent offer. He accepted the offer. I was pretty stoked about that.
That's the one you were talking about.
Yeah.
In the video earlier. Yeah, BAMTech's always been a good bloke.
Yeah.
I've dealt with him a couple of times. Yeah, nothing bad to say about that bloke whatsoever.
Nope, makes some good. And then we were talking about, because I told him what I was going to do with the property, and he's like, "Well, shoot, if you want, some carts and stuff, let me know. We can work out a deal." And then he was like, I can't go selling your carts until I get at least the ones, at least the two I don't have. And so then he gave me a decent deal on those ones as well. So I was pretty stoked about that. So I'm gonna have to go buy some carts from BAMTech and list them in the shop eventually.
All right, so this shop is Twilk. I don't know if that's the way you say it.
That's kind of a cool background. Look at that, like treasure map and things.
Yeah, so I think he's trying to do like a whole pirate type thing. And a pirate or medieval type theme. I'm not sure exactly what he's going for overall, but yeah, it is pretty cool. So I wasn't pirates, I bought a bunch of these little, so I've got the jail and stuff like that, so a bunch of men for here and there. So he's got the Knights flag, so you got the Knights treasure chest. So I bought a bunch of these guys and a bunch of treasure chests, stuff like that. So and he gave me a good deal. So I'm not telling you how good a deal. You guys can hit him up and try and get your own deal.
I forgot. I got something for you. I have a gift for you, Swarley.
But these guys are pretty cool. So, yeah. So,
oh yeah, those are pretty sweet. They remind me of like the little miniature figures that like some hobbyist freaking put together.
Yeah.
Bring me a shrubbery.
It just sucks that up and makes them put them on a podium as opposed to like their own ones that they release. Like the porn ones, I bought a whole bunch of. They're just little guys standing on the ground. With these guys, but it is what it is. So you can't do much about it. And the treasure chests were pretty cool. So I was gonna. So I bought them.
Made the little green army men. You remember those from when we were?
Yeah.
I believe that is a yes. I'm sure I saw that.
I was trying to find some the other day and I couldn't find any.
Chances are, if chances are, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
see, I put in army and that was business, but I didn't try soldier.
I'm sure I saw it, but maybe I'm thinking of something else, but maybe not.
I wonder if there's any kind of copyright on those. I mean, I can't imagine because they're like just knockoffs already, aren't they?
And there'd be, I mean, when you've got stuff like this, I mean, if there's not a copyright on that, what is there a copyright on? Just saying. I mean, they're cool, but
Swirl, I sent you a trade offer for a gift.
Should I be doing this on screen?
You can. I don't care. I don't care. It's not anything bad.
Okay. Well, we'll get to see it together. Actually, this is what I'm going to bring up. Is this just me, or has this changed? Has this the view and the?
I feel like it's pretty much the same.
No, the font's bigger and it's capitals or something. I'm sure it never used to be, and it's more pronounced. Like
Oh, you're
This-
right.
Here, the for you in their shop. I don't remember that being so. It definitely just feels different. But I'm willing to bet it's going to be the same all the way down if I. Yeah. So I think they've just changed the formatting of how it looks. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's more in your face type formatting. Well, I don't have the offer yet anyway.
Oh,
And Scory had already left LA before you'd got back to me. So I'll have to wait till next time in LA now.
this live stream may be taken down due to broadcasting copyrighted content. Please remove any mention of upland.me in order to prevent a DCMA takedown.
What?
The fuck?
Wow.
Is there a where?
Ooh, we're in trouble. You're gonna get demonetized. I know.
What did you even broadcast that was like copyright from Upland?
Is it screen sharing now?
I mean, maybe is it the song?
We'll
No.
find it. Does it even say Upland?
Oh, it's probably the address up top because you're sharing the whole screen.
But I do that every week.
Well, maybe now it's pissed off.
I mean, so many people when they're streaming, they have that on there.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
That's very weird.
Remove any
Especially
mention.
considering X1 was here for like half the show almost. Like,
Yeah.
dang, maybe that's the copyright infringement. It's X1.
Let me send that thing again.
Right.
No, I still haven't got the. But it does take a couple of minutes for it to come through.
Well, that was weird. Sorry, we're trying to.
Yeah.
do
So
something.
Mitchell's saying it's.
It's a show about Upland.
Can't say that. YouTube will not let you say that.
Oh no, I think. Well, we're not allowed to use the word Upland like in anything MetaVenture-ish or whatever. So, I mean, even the URL had to change their name. So
Have we even
Maybe.
said Upland blank? Like,
We said Upland After Dark.
I'm going to sit here and just go upland.me, upland.me, upland.me. See if we get taken down. You know, next minute, black.
that's the copyright infringement? Like, what?
Oh, fucking, I don't know. Oh, hang on, I need to say play.upland.me. Oh, yeah.
Not cool, man.
Yeah, you're gonna get demonetized, man.
No, they'll just take down the whole video. Is what they'll do.
Oh, really? So this won't even broadcast
Until
No,
you message
yeah.
them and
outside of the
go,
live.
yeah, until you message them and go WTF, and then they like in a week's time they'll reinstate it once they
Right.
some human
Yeah.
looks at it and goes, oh, there's nothing wrong with this. We
Once
just
we've already done 3 other shows.
Yeah, this is normal.
the only thing different is that music. I can't see how that be the issue.
I can't either.
Did you have AI make that song?
I did.
I thought that was a good one, man.
Well, so I had. Here's what I did. I had AI.
Yeah.
I had
Pirate,
AI write
yeah.
lyrics, and then
We're talking about
I
pirate.
changed the lyrics, and then I gave that to a different AI to make the song with the lyrics that AI and I wrote together.
Nice. So it was a collaboration.
It was a
But it's
collaboration.
not Mars, Utah.
It's look. I don't have.
Who,
I
to
don't
be
have
fair, is pretty fucking awesome. So
That
it'd be
is.
good to reach out to Mars, Utah, see if we can get him. He's in the game. He plays. So see if we can get him to do your song.
Oh, he's not. He's not gonna
I know.
do a song for a competing broadcast. We got to get somebody original anyway. I'll reach out to who do I like? Joey Valance and Bray. Those guys. I'll have them do it.
The
Yeah,
Beastie
I'll-
Boys. Reach out to the Beastie Boys.
Well, this is the closest thing. So Joey Valance and Bray is the closest thing to the Beastie Boys I've ever found.
You know, my brother is actually a rapper. He doesn't play Upland, but he does write music and he has a studio and everything. So
What the What the
I can
fuck?
always ask him if you were interested.
Yes, ask him. Are you crazy? What's wrong with you? You've
Yeah,
been holding out this information the whole time?
I'll ask him.
Uh-oh.
What the hell is this?
We regret to inform you that
Was
you're
somebody messing with
doomed.
you?
Somebody's
fucking with me.
yeah.
57
YouTube police.
is fuel?
Someone's created an account and called themselves YouTube Police.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
guessing
Is
maybe-
real. What does
maybe
that
X-
even mean?
maybe X1's got two.
Who's
YouTube
it's
accounts.
somebody we know. It's got to be somebody we know,
There's gotta be
right?
somebody.
Leban. It does stink of Leban.
User, we regret to inform you that you are doomed. 57 is real.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, "All right, this shit ain't real."
Yeah, they got us. I should have known by the name YouTube Police that
I
would
didn't
be.
even see it.
I
just saw
didn't
you-
even see the
I
name. I
didn't
just saw the emblem.
Yeah.
Good one. YouTube Police. You fucking got us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Leban.
for you, YouTube police.
Yeah, fuck you, YouTube Police. Anyway, Swirl, you should have it now.
Well, I'm too scared to share it now.
I know, YouTube Police won't get it. We're talking about 57, though. Like 50
Heinz
behind
57. Like the ketchup.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
Weird.
the one that's the flat one on the ground? Yeah. Cool. I mean, I'll accept it, but I already own like 6 of these.
I thought it was going to be nice.
It is nice.
I bought that just for you.
I was going to I'd never got it because I've been so busy the last few weeks, so I haven't updated the prison lately. But I was going to do it because it was Australia Day last week
It was?
for us. I was going to do on the 26th of January is Australia Day. I was going to like deck out the prison in like some sort of Australian theme.
That'd be
but-
cool.
I just didn't get a chance. I'll just put it with the other ones.
Oh my god.
This lot here is my junkyard, so to speak. I still want
Yeah.
the rest of the prison fences so I can, finish it off and have it like a secured storage lot or something.
Yeah.
But this is whenever I get something, this is where I put it to begin with until I work out where I'm going to leave it.
I have a couple properties like that.
So this is my, and because I know the number off the top of my head, so I can just type the number in, and then just drop it here, and then I go from here to placing it when I go to use something for whatever. And of course, the totems never ever left here, so they'll die here. But the band looking all tough and stuff.
We still need a swirly one.
Look, there's the YouTube police
Yeah.
looking all tough. So. No, but thank you for that. I was going to deck out the jail and all Australian stuff. I hadn't really got around to doing it, and it's kind of past now. It kind of sucks that Upland doesn't acknowledge. I mean, I don't know, where do you draw the line? Because there's so many different countries around the world. Almost every day, would be a national day for each country. But I mean, we're going to acknowledge Independence Day, like on the 4th of July. Most countries have a main day of the year. Why can't we, bring that message? And I know the ninjas were looking at trying to do that at one point. I think that might have fizzled out, or petered away, or what do you want to call it? Petered out.
Petered out, yes, that's a good term.
But why there can't be a little bit more? I mean, with the way the seasons are set up now, Australia Day is always going to be, assuming it stays on the same date, which in itself is controversial. If it stays on the same date, it's always going to be in between seasons.
What's the significance of Australia Day?
It's basically when the first fleet, so Captain Cook, landed in Botany Bay back in 1788. So the 26th of January 1788 was the so-called first fleet. There'd been other people here before then. It was initially discovered by, I think, Holland, and it was actually called New Holland or something. But yeah, the first fleet is, I guess, the start of Western settlement here. So, and at the time, there was only the indigenous people here. So, and that's where the controversy comes. So, for the indigenous people, they tend to refer it to as Invasion Day, which you can understand their reservations against that. So,
like Thanksgiving.
So it's
We have a
yeah.
similar problem here.
So it's been brought up for a number of years now, and whether they move it or not, who knows? I think most Australians are probably okay with moving it, provided it's to something that is significant. But again, I'm not really up to that, so I'm not really qualified to talk about it. At the end of the day, every country has a day that's significant to them. Ours is the 26th of January, being the first fleet. So the first fleet of the Poms bringing out their prisoners to this island to
Drop them off.
Yeah, basically. So, and technically, the first profession in Australia was prison guards.
Oh my God!
When you think about it, because the first fleet was all prison guards and prisoners.
Just a penal colony. Yeah, just a bunch of criminals.
So the first ever job, technically, was in Australia.
So when did you actually become a country then, like or states and provinces?
There's lots of different things. I'm not going to go into all the history, and I know I'm not on top of all of it either. But in terms of the states, there's
everyone's different, I'd imagine.
So I couldn't tell you off the top of my head most of that sort of stuff, but
Swirly, do you have any indigenous blood in you?
Me personally, no. My background's I think my lovely wife who loves her family history and ancestry.com traced it back, and I think it's only 2 or 3 generations back where my family immigrated from England. So they were in the Navy, and they came out. So I'm not part of the first fleet descendant, but I'm still English descendant.
Okay.
So, but as part of the Navy, they came out to Australia, and there was a lot of the immigration to Australia. Because I think they even had like the 10-pound bomb or something at one stage where they could pay $10 and move to a whole new country because they needed people to help grow Australia. I don't know all about it. I don't know the history. I'm not a history person. I never have been. So I'm not up on all that.
It sounds good to me.
Yeah, enough history.
Yeah.
See, we're off the rails.
Moving on.
This is the last episode going off the rails.
Time anyways.
Well, what would we be doing if we weren't going off the rails a little bit?
We were talking about having each country at least in the upland acknowledge especially the cities that have been released, or they could do some sort of event in that city on that city's national day or something like that. So obviously for you guys, Washington,
I can't see them ever going back to Porto for anything.
So we can talk about speculation. I mean, you suggested that Las Vegas was going to be expanded upon this season.
I know, but then when we talked about it, you kind of opened my eyes to maybe realize that probably isn't going to be the case.
I think it would be a lame expansion, to be honest with you. There's nothing left in Vegas for that. Like everything that they have is just suburbs, and there might be a few neighborhoods or something, but I just can't see there really being much more iconic there.
But there's not much.
Is Fremont Street on there right now?
There's what?
Is Fremont Street, like old downtown?
Yes.
Is that currently?
I went after that.
That's in there. That's a collection. Even I think that was like a rare.
Okay.
I went after Fremont. That was like my first ever chase of a collection, and I missed out on it. But got downtown instead.
Yeah, they pretty much released all of the famous Vegas.
But it's not. It's not done. It's not fully released though, from what I understand.
No, but everything else is like just straight up suburbs.
Yeah, it's boring.
Yeah, like it's like crazy because now, like I've been flying into Vegas like almost my whole life, and it's crazy because I've seen it go from like almost being like just a strip in the desert to this sprawling community. It's crazy now when you fly in and you really see how spread out the suburbs are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even from when I had flown in there when I was a kid, in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, and it didn't look like anything it does right now.
Right. It was so different back then.
Yeah, it was like you could really tell like where the strip was, and now it's just like it's just a mass of lights.
Okay, so Mitchell's saying they need to join that private part of Vegas. So I'm assuming they're talking about Queen's Ridge, which is owned by Crypto Land 21, I think it is.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's like his own neighborhood, though. Like nobody can join that unless he lets you.
Well, I was talking to him not that long ago during the competition, and he is planning on selling some stuff at some point down the track. So exactly what his plans are, I wouldn't have a clue. But that will at some point come up. It's, as far as I know, it's not part of treasure hunting or anything that Las Vegas does, which I think kind of sucks. I can see why they said it's not part of the wars, because that would be a massive advantage. You just build whatever you want out there, and nothing anybody else could do. But having said that, there are other cities in Upland that have isolated nodes, and I think Rio was one of those. Didn't have that FSA node that was all the way out by itself.
Yeah,
so I don't know that they do need to. I mean, and even we got the island now in San Fran too. Is that part of San Fran, or is that just its own little?
It's part of San Fran.
So
which one?
The Treasure Island.
Oh, right.
So I don't know that they will ever expand LA all the way out to Queens Ridge. They don't need to. There's certainly precedents to suggest that they don't need to do that. Doesn't mean they can't. So how much, I can't remember what the stats were and how much more there was to expand. But then again, they can always change their mind. Because you look at somewhere like Queens, it's never meant to be expanded. Like Queens is 100% release, apparently. But who says in 5 years' time, when everything in Queens is minted out, they're going to go, oh, let's add a few more. I mean, this clearly, that whole island can be minted out eventually if they really wanted to, couldn't they?
Yeah.
So, but never say never. I mean, if Upland got massively popular with hundreds of thousands of daily users, they need to keep expanding and increasing. So,
right.
Never say never.
That's when you start seeing like middle of nowhere cities. And cities opening randomly, and that's a perfect world where there's a million people a day.
You're doing a new city, you're doing a new city release every week. And like I've tried to explain Upland to like people I work with. So I lived up until I moved in a small country town in Western New South Wales, and I'd explain Upland to them how it's based in the real world and show them different areas of the world. And they go, oh, so maybe one day I can buy my home in Dubbo, in the town that we're in. And I'm like, yeah, that's never going to happen. But it could happen. Like if it got big enough and expanded, I'm like, the entire of the USA will be released before Dubbo gets released. Like there is no way.
You know what? Like you never know, man. Upland released Porto again. Like they released.
Yeah, but at least that's a city. Like
Fresno. Like
I'm talking about a soccer team.
You're not from America, so you don't know how much of an armpit Bakersfield is. Like that.
Yeah, but that was in relation to the stadium, though, wasn't it?
Nobody cares about Bakersfield.
Isn't that because of the stadium they released it though?
Well, there's no stadiums in Bakersfield. Like, there's no reason for them to have released Bakersfield.
Okay, my understanding, and maybe I'm totally wrong, was that a lot of the early releases were around stadiums, and I just assumed that LA.
There's no sports teams down there.
Wasn't Porto the city for that Upland soccer team that they had that they stopped recording?
That was for Porto. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Bakersfield. Like Bakersfield, there's nothing, no reason.
No, there's nothing. It's just it might as well release Susansville.
But Bakersfield was like one of the first cities released. Like Fresno was the third city released in Upland.
This is a lame third
and
city.
And Fresno is like look, no disrespect to people in Fresno, but it's not a place that most people would choose to live. And it's not a place that most people have even ever heard of.
It's a shithole.
San Francisco, Manhattan, and then Fresno.
I mean, you can ask
the fuck up, man.
I mean, I'm by no means an American expert, but like I've never heard of Park City or like South Lake Tahoe either. Like,
well, see, but those are huge tourist destinations.
Yes,
and they're actually fairly well known. If you're like a skier, you know those areas.
Nobody takes a vacation to Fresno.
But nobody goes to Fresno or Bakersfield.
Jimmy, to solve your problem, just go to my account and do a vehicle swap for one of my cars and then swap it back and you can move it to wherever you want. So just look my account, do the offer, and then once it's accepted, just swap it back. And you can place the vehicle. And then you can place the vehicle wherever you want. And
Well,
yes, very
there's that.
Nothing good has come out of Fresno.
You know, somebody was telling me the other day, I can't remember who it was. They had guessed maybe Denver might be a city to be released soon.
Denver. I saw someone
That'd
else
be
say
kind of
that.
cool.
I did
I
see
want
someone
Seattle.
else say Denver. I can't remember who it was. I think it was in a private chat, and I'm like, why Denver? And they said it makes sense with the charging stations. And I'm like, but if they wanted
Yeah.
a charging station,
We might have been talking to the same person. Was
They
it
just-
No,
Nick?
they'll open Cortez before they open Denver.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not going to Cortez release. I'm against Cortez. I got stuck there for like 3 days after that race, which Cortez was the reason why we lost the race. And then
Right.
after that race, I got stuck there for like 3 days, but over Christmas because our plane crashed and nothing was moving and processing, and I couldn't charge my car. And yeah, so yeah, me and Cortez do not have a history that's favorable by any stretch of the imagination. I will boycott that just because. Although, yeah, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, I think period Upland needs to open a new city though. No more expansion.
Oh.
Like
No,
open
they're
a
probably-
new city.
The same, I don't know, I can't remember back to the season before winter. What was that, Harvest? What
Mhm.
were the releases that season? The band usually pretty quick on this. Sorry, YouTube Police is pretty quick on this. Like, was there 2 releases then? Like, are they going with a pattern of 1 city release and 1 expansion per season?
I'm happy with that. That's a good.
I guess they kind of have done that, haven't they?
Yeah.
That's how I feel like they change it up and then Genesis Week that season will be all different again probably. But it just feels like that's kind of what they've been going with. And if they don't feel like the demand's there for a proper city release, when I say proper, I mean like a big, a Paris or a London or something like that, then they'll just do like a Lake Tahoe or Park City. So something cool, even Miami Beach, something small and demand sell out really quickly. You don't have a crap load of property sitting around doing
Well,
nothing.
they need to make another city that's drive only. I feel like. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that because if it's a drive only city, not everybody's got a car or whatever. But I feel like
Well, the way driving is right now, it sucks.
It does.
But it could drive more people to buy cars too. Like you get that market pumping a little bit.
Couldn't. Yeah, maybe.
They should do a Portland to Portland. Release both Portland, Maine, and Portland, Oregon at the same time.
And do a road trip.
And do a road trip
I'm not getting up at
across
4
the
a.m. for that.
country. You almost couldn't get any further apart. Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine, polar opposites of the nation.
Well, let's go one step further. Let's just release Springfield.
There's a million Springfields.
I know, that's my point.
Yeah.
Let's just
found
release
that.
them all.
Did they say they were going to do a week-long road trip this time?
Yes, I was just about to say that. They didn't say they're doing it. They just said the road trip, and here's the dates. Now, does that mean it'll be between those dates, or does it mean it's going to last the entirety of those dates? I don't know. So, when they say it's a road trip that's going to last 7 days, my interest has kind of dropped off. But again, we'll just have to wait and see what they announce. Like, I'm not saying no, but if it's a 7-day road trip challenge, maybe the cars are relevant. So with the last
separate groups of them.
With the last road trip challenge, we had to have the S2R, otherwise you're wasting your time. I think all 5 winners, and I think the next 10 people that didn't win all had S2Rs. The S2s were the second best car to have, or the S2Es, but the difference was only like 2% slower or something. Over a course of 14, 15 hours, 2% added up to quite a bit of time. So maybe they've worked out a way to make it so you can use your semi-trailer if you want, or semi-truck. I don't have a trailer. And it won't matter because, although it'd be ridiculous because it doesn't go far and it takes a long time to charge. Who knows? I mean, I'll be watching that announcement with interest, but with reservations at this point as well. I just can't see myself committing to a week-long thing. But maybe it's each day there's a challenge. Drive from here to there and do a task. and then it'll time you for each day, and it might be, and you add your times up at the end of the week, and whoever's the fastest, or whatever. But
that would make a lot more sense than like every single. You got to stay up for a week straight charging a fucking vehicle.
Yeah, I can't.
Right? Like,
they did on the X1 did, and this is again probably trying to read between the lines. But X1 did announce or say quite a few times he'd like to see there being more of a treasure hunt, scavenger hunt type. No, treasure hunt probably not the right word. More of a scavenger hunt type challenges involved. So in other words, going to a city and completing some sort of challenge in that city before you move on to the next one. And to me, that challenge would almost have to negate the recharging of the vehicle. So in other words, to even out. So an S1E will never win one of these races because they take too long to recharge. But if you make the challenge in the city long enough that even an S1E can recharge before you then move on to the next one, well, then it becomes an advantage because it's faster to get to from point A to point B if the range is the same. So it can, again, change the dynamics, and, the S2Rs become worthless again. And, maybe you want
to do with stacks. What if they tie in charging your vehicle?
And you get to level 10
by playing a certain amount of levels in stacks,
maybe
passing those levels, and then you get another charge, and then you get to go.
That's a good. But
I mean, why not, right? Like, throw it in there.
And again,
I can see them making a lot more of a big deal or a bigger deal out of stacks than they have been.
So maybe you got to have.
You need to promote the shit out of it, really.
I mean, like I said at the start, that's the start. But I want to see more advertising. I want to see ads out there for Upland. Anyway, but that's a good idea. I like the idea. Again, it'd be something we'll be watching and waiting with interest. But I kind of like the idea of the one-day grind. I'd love to have seen that grind go from east to west coast. So they'd finished that one in Las Vegas or San Fran. I think not Las Vegas, in LA or San Fran. I think that would have been better. But by that time, it was already after midnight for the East Coast. So I'm guessing that was probably the reason why they stopped in Vegas.
That was like 3 a.m. for the East Coast because it was like 12 for me.
But I'd almost let's have a challenge that goes for 24 hours. Give everyone the same disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right, and then every time zone has its strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. So, and if you got to be really committed to be doing this for 24 hours, and let's face it, the difference between the top, say, dozen almost players is seconds. And it's the seconds how long it takes to click the buttons to recharge your vehicle. Because, if I took 5 seconds to hit all those right buttons and you took 4 seconds, over 10 different stops, that puts you, 10 seconds ahead of me or something. And that's the difference. Like, when you look at the times, it wasn't a lot between all the different cars.
Well, right, when you only have the top 5 winners, I mean, people are going to be within minutes of each other, if not seconds in a lot of cases. So
you're missing an alarm or something.
If you're 2 minutes behind almost.
Yeah, if you miss an alarm, that's your race over, which kind of is, fair enough, because at the end of the day, if you're in an actual race and your pit stop screws up, that could ruin your race as well. So it's kind of the same sort of. Anyway,
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I'll be watching it with interest, but we'll see. Like I said, for the meantime, I'll just continue to push my car and try and hit that 1,000,000 kilometers, which, to be fair, I haven't really been doing too much of lately. I need to get it driving more.
I'm embarrassed by you now.
What?
It's kind of hard to just keep driving your car around, though, in the game.
I hate it.
Reason.
I hate it, but at the same point, it just really pissed me off. Like when that had, especially with this road trip talk when that was coming, and I saw people in general go, "Oh, all these idiots are, putting kilometers on their cars for a stupid race. They're going to get nothing for it." Just comments like that, and I'm like, it's a digital fucking car. Like you can do it 2 billion kilometers. Guess what? It's in the exact same condition as it is today.
Yeah,
it doesn't fucking matter how many.
It's not going to break down.
Guess what? There's 400,000 cars all on 0. I'm going to have the only car on 1,000,000. Now, which one's more desirable?
I want that.
Maybe it's not. I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like, now which one's different? I don't know. Like, that's just, again, it's like, if it was a real world car and it's a really nice car, you might go out and buy yourself, I don't know, one of those Tesla things. Fair enough. You don't want to just put stupid kilometers on it for no reason. But we're not. It's a fucking virtual metaverse game, and it's a digital car that, doesn't actually do real kilometers. So what the fuck? Why is it so important to keep your speedo at 0? What's the point of that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess people are trying to kind of think of it too much, like compared to the real world. But until there's any kind of like damage to cars, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
You know? If it's not going to affect your performance or the value, what does it matter at all?
Who cares? You fix, even if it did bring in damage and stuff to your car, I'm assuming you can fix it. I'm assuming you can stake spark and restore it back to that. I mean, you can go and get a friggin' 1950 car and that's been rusted in a paddock for 50, 60 years and restore it back to its prime. So you can do that in real life. So why the hell can't you do it in a digital game where Sparklet's got utility? Like,
Dude, that would open up a new meta venture, man. Just like a chop shop. You just start.
We were talking about that and being able to stake Spark on people wanted to have service stations that were Spark stations where you could come and bring your vehicle in and their Spark would charge your car up. Like, this was what people wanted, but no, Upland have not allowed that.
Well, as of yet, they still could. You never know.
No, it would have taken about turn from them because they've got these charging stations where that doesn't happen. You still need to use your own Spark. But I would love it to see with these, especially for that race, you pull into these charging stations, so long as there's an available Bowser, so to speak, like where you're filling up the fuel or whatever, a charging point. If it can take 100 cars, then you're one of those 100 cars, and you can charge with Spark that's staked on there or something. But I mean, Upland Brewery, or whatever it is, can't even say that word. I mean, they've got a crap load of Spark anyway, so they could easily spark them all up their charging stations. Would there be a fee for it? Maybe.
You could even make it like one of those transit. They like have a bunch of them like lined up, and you buy a parcel, and you have your own fees, and you have Sparklet staked on it, and it just if you want to pay the fee, it just instantly charges your car, and you're off to the races.
Yeah. So Mitchell, there was a bit of when they first announced Sparklet and travel with cars and stuff like that. People went around snapping up service stations for that point. So kind of being like a meta venture where other players without a lot of Spark could just park there, and let's say for me charging up my S2R it takes about 45 minutes to recharge. So it's not too bad because I've got the 4,000 Sparklet. But what about a smaller player that's only got say 1,000 Sparklet? It's going to take them 4 times as long, or they can get a charging station for a small fee and have it all done in 45 minutes. Spark Exchange.
Yeah.
Well, can you stake on another player?
No, I don't think you can stake on other vehicles.
No, you can't.
Like again, people wanted that for factories. Like you've got a factory, you don't have much Spark. You wanted other people and they haven't brought that in either. So, these are all good ideas, but I just don't see it happening.
Well, you never know, though, man. Down the road, once they actually open those kind of things, or if they ever open those kind of things, then, it opens the door for that much more, utility, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, there's potential. There's a billion potentials out there. Obviously, it takes building and time and stuff like that. So I'm not bashing Upland for not having already released all of them. But the staking on factories, to me, that I think everyone just assumed that was going to be a thing we could do, and why it isn't, I don't know.
Well, right, it almost doesn't make sense, Like you can stake on so many other things, so why not, on some, like you can put your Protem on other people's totems, so what's the difference of putting your Spark on somebody's vehicle,
See, and this is going back to that Sparks war, as much as I think it was a great idea to be able to spark up and increase the range of a cannon with some Sparklet, I'd love to. I can't see that ever happening. Upland probably don't have the capabilities of creating that actual function. And then again, and even if they did it, will they open that up for the whole team to be able to contribute to it? You might have some smaller player with the right location, but doesn't have the Sparklet themselves to do it. Can someone like myself come along and go, well, here's 2,000 or 5,000 Sparklet or whatever it is that you need. to get the job done on their property, so to speak. So there's so many avenues. I don't see it happening, but who knows?
Right. Who knows, man? It's upland. We all are in the dark.
We are.
Scorer wants to give away a map asset of the winner's choosing. What do you say we maybe wrap this bad boy up and start giving some away?
Yeah, we're going on 2 hours. It's about that time.
Yeah, getting closer to midnight. The USA. Set of soccer goals. And the band is back.
The band
is
is
back, or the? I didn't know he was here. So.
Oh, is that really LeBan? Not
It's
the
hard.
Upland police or the YouTube police.
But we don't know that it was LeBan, but
We don't know.
it does.
It could have been Maui. Who knows?
It does reek of something the band would do.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot, Sway. What did I? Oh, because I blamed you.
Really warmed his heart.
What did I do? I'm worried now.
You should be. All right. Upland After Dark. Let's give some shit away.
Let's give some shit away and go to bed.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Or breakfast.
Or breakfast. Maybe you can go have a dip in the pool, not with your missus.
Maybe.
Oh, it would be nice, man.
Oh,
I did think of you. I thought you didn't think of me. You didn't see me. Well, I did think of you. I was assuming that the Upland Police was you. So
I saw you, LeBan. I was thinking about it. I saw you said good morning. I said top of the morning to you.
I was nothing to me. Mate, you helped me produce the rejected structural ornament. So you're more than nothing to me.
That's sad. Really, just.
All right, so I'll give away the usual.
Ooh.
I can't sell them, so I might as well give them away.
All right. Let's give about 10, 15 more seconds.
Oh shit! Shit! Aren't we supposed to give away some money for this track? Fuck. Racetrack and a jackpotter from last week.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Because you guys landed on one of you guys, right?
It did. And I don't know if Kate. I haven't had a chance to look at it, and I didn't research it today because I was pissed off. I did see a post from Kate saying he sorted something out. Did it?
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
How about you, else like almost aimlessly just go pick out a property that's not yours,
Okay.
randomly pick one out, and then I'll pay that person out. Do we know how many properties have fences on it? I'll get more organised with the After Dark show and have all this a lot more organised. But we did say we're stuck in May. I know we said next month, didn't we? Not next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disregard. Sorry, we did say it's a monthly thing, but it was meant to give away prizes weekly as well.
Well, we'll get our shit back together here soon. We'll get our shit back together.
Fuck it.
All right, I'll just give away another 50
How much do you earn a week to be giving away all this sparklet?
I don't
Sorry,
know. I think I only earn like 200K a week, probably, or so. That's with like sins and everything.
It's about the same, yeah. Maybe I'm slightly higher, but you seem to be having a lot more. I mean, I've been trying to save mine up for a certain thing, but
I just never spin my upics. I really don't. Like, there's, I don't.
I wasted
Upic for you.
I've been wasting on map assets. I keep buying those little guys and stuff for the jail, and I wasted probably just setting up that jail. I would have wasted
I want happy money.
I would have wasted the best part of $1 million upics just setting that jail up.
Oh man, yeah. See, I have a hard time doing stuff like that. Like,
I mean, the 10 properties in itself was $250,000. And then obviously, and then I bought all those little men. They all cost me. I think there's about 40 of those all up, and they cost me, I think, 12 or 15,000 UPX each. And that was. I tried to make a deal, and they were, "Yep, I'll make a deal." And then at the end, they go, "No," because I was going to make a deal. The deal was I was going to make them a structural ornament, and they went, "No, I'll just take the UPX at the end." And they didn't even give it like a 10% discount. It was like 100% price.
Oh, hey, hold on. A side topic. I totally forgot about this. Did Picasso win last week in this race on Friday?
No, I think
no. I don't think he did.
Sam Mahoney.
Because I thought he was in first place again on the leaderboard.
They're tied for first.
Oh, so he had a good showing at least.
Yeah, he didn't fall off or anything, but I think Sam Mahoney just kind of caught up. So
he's still a chance
races or anything, but
I just want to make sure that my sponsee is holding his own, taking care of business out there in the Ultimate Racing League. That's all.
Is that when you say ours? Is that the jail you set up? Is there a jail in Evergreen?
No, I'm talking about.
No, Vape's saying Ace and him spent a crap load in Evergreen.
We'll help you spend your up exactly. Yeah, you guys help me out. I'm just giving this shit away because I don't know what to do with it.
We'll go to a city mint and we'll mint up a store.
Yep.
And that's what I do. I wait until there's a new release, and then I spend all my UPX, and then I just save up until the new release.
Hold on, you should look at the Scory. Scory's over here, chirping for UPX when he's the most winningest.
Yeah, as I say, hasn't he in the last month like something like 250,000 UPX or something?
Yeah,
yeah.
Like last month alone, he probably fucking doubled his account in winnings.
He's making the band look sad with his winnings.
I know. God, yeah. All right, let's spin this thing. All right, the first one's going to be for a teabagger. No. Hold on. No, the first one's going to be for Happy's money. And if it lands on me, then Swirly, you got 50 in there as well.
No, you double it up.
I don't even have 50,000. I have.
Yeah, I gave you 40 the other day.
Well, I spent it.
Actually, speaking of 40, if anyone out there that wants to convert USD to 3 to 1 in UPX, I'll buy any of the current passes for 20k UPX. I still need 2 of the 3.
I gave you 2 different ones.
Yeah, but you only gave me 2. I said I wanted all 3, and then an extra one to burn. And you got what you wanted, and then gave me your double ups. And then went, fuck you.
Well, I was running short on USD, man. I'm sorry.
Which is fair enough. I'm not asking you to spend all your money that you don't have. But if anyone else out there that is short on UPX that wants to sell a pass to me, if I have to, I might buy one for USD, but I really don't want to.
This is for Happy's money.
It'd be funny if...
X1. He doesn't have much. I don't think any of these players do.
Oh yeah!
That is bullshit. My pen
He should be DQ.
Oh, I never win. He says.
Look at that.
Unless it's
on YouTube.
I'll send you the UPX shortly, LeBand.
Well, all right, LeBand. Congratulations. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, let's drop it. This one is going to be for the teabagger.
So unlike
X1.
UPX, you can just send that X1, but the rest of the stuff you can't send. He has to go and collect.
Maui gets a teabagger.
This is rigged. Norway rigged here.
How about this, LeBand? Instead of me giving Maui a teabagger, you can go give her a teabagger yourself. No, she can have both. She can have your teabag and mine.
She hasn't a teabagger. Wow, well, she does now.
Well, she does now. You better make it right. Okay. Let me write this down real quick in my teabagger thing. You know what's funny? Hold on. So before we started this the show today, my daughter was in here, and my wife and daughter were giving me a hard time, like, you need to be quiet or you're too fucking loud. I can hear you in the bedroom. And my daughter sometimes sleeps in her room, and she goes, my daughter's 9. She goes, yeah, Dad, I heard you last week, and you were yelling something like, yeah, and you just want a teabagger. And, and then my wife was like, my daughter's name is Logan. Logan, what are you saying? You can't say teabag. She's like, what? That's what Dad said.
Well, even Upland had issues with it, didn't they?
They certainly did. All right. Next one is going to be a Scory 23 winner's choice of any of his map assets. Here we go.
I thought he said soccer.
Oh, no, yeah, he did. That's right. He said 2 soccer goals.
That'd be Scory.
Rubleman.
Hey, level up. Check. Aussie. Woo. Now what does it mean?
And then last one is, it's you, Swarla. You're giving away a structural ornament of your choosing.
Yeah. Structural ornament, winner's choice, winner's location.
Okay.
But if X1 wins, you can reach out to him and tell him. Oh, Vape I got. Awesome. All right, Vape, you know the deal. You don't have to give me your game name. Just hit me up with what you want, where you want it. And then remind me if I haven't done it.
All right, I'm going to give away one more teabagger just for shits.
So you can give it X1.
Just for shits. 24. All right. Last one. 8 entries. If you haven't got in yet, now's the time. And here we go.
Can you still enter, or is it too late?
Well, it's too late now. I just hit the spinning thing. Who's it going to be? Mitch again.
McKinnon.
Nice.
Surname in game, is that Sir Mitch?
Yes, it is Sir Mitch. That is like the 3rd one he's won in maybe as many weeks. It's kind of funny, but good for him. More opportunities to win 5,000 every month, just like
I just had an idea.
the other day.
I just had an idea. Well, I'll throw it at you off air.
Okay. Ooh, Square wants to give away one more. All right, one more set of goals, and then we're done. So, well, unless somebody else wants to give away more.
Nothing
shit.
against everybody else, but X1.
Jimmy.
Nice.
Beautiful, Clark. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I owe Sir Mitch a go-kart.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. From the 20th. Totally spaced it. Good thing I have this list that Maui made for me. I can keep track of all these things.
You know,
I don't
that was
remember
one
shit.
thing I was cracking up about was Mr. Alan C. giving away all his cards during the wars to try to get everybody to stake on him and not on the other. Like,
and
just
his copying.
The chat was hilarious.
He was copying.
Dude, he was getting a lot of heat for that.
Yeah, people were getting upset with him, and that made me happy.
Did you get one of them?
I got 5.
You got 5.
I got 5. I only staked.
What are they, like a series of like 1,000 or something?
I don't know. Here, I'll share and show what they are, and
I was gonna do the same thing.
They actually look kind of cool.
They are pretty cool. They are.
They're really cool. I really like them.
Yeah, they're in my. Oh, I was already in the right place. So that in my only car showroom, which I haven't listed them or anything, I'm not even trying to sell them. Sure, where are we? So these little guys here,
Yeah.
they look much cooler from this view. 1,000, so they're not super rare, but they are pretty cool.
They're really
Yeah,
cool.
no, they're cool. I mean,
So-
he's been trying to get rid of those for quite some time, so it was cracking me up that he was like, "I'll just give them away."
I mean, they're pretty. Yeah, I quite like them.
I think they're one of the better cards in the game, to be honest with you.
I ended up I only staked 25k on his build pretty much for the whole time. So, and he gave me like 3 the first day. I'm like, oh sweet, okay. I was expecting 1, and he gave me 3. I'm like, oh, I'll pay that. And the next day, he hits me up with 2 more plus some legit burner thingies, and I'm like, dude, I don't race. I give them to somebody that actually races or could use them. Well, actually, speaking of which, I do need to go and do that, don't I? Burn something.
Well, I gotta burn my pass still.
I haven't
You
done. I
better
need,
do that tonight.
I need to buy a pass and then burn it. So, someone sell me a pass for 20k, not 40k like current market is. I thought that would come down so much.
Yeah, you were wrong. It just kept going up.
Well, not the USD ones haven't, but the this is one I
I mean,
really
it doesn't
want.
surprise me considering USD and Epic's markup is basically 20 to 5 to 1.
No, I think it's more accurately 3 to 1,
I mean, depends, right? Because
maybe
you can
4 to
buy-
1. But
You can,
For
like,
an
the
instant
floor right
flip-
now is 20% markup. Like, if
Yeah,
you
for the
wanted to
floor, but the
instantly
vast
get money out,
majority-
you got to go to 20%.
yeah, but I think 3 to 1 or an instant flip of $20 for a $7 outlay. Well, that's what I gave Elslack. So,
What did
give
Jimmy
some-
get you when? I forgot.
stop goals at the end.
Oh, yeah, the soccer goals.
So they have. I mean, on the buy swap sell channel, they were selling for cheaper than this. So, yeah, like, you can buy the ones you want for almost the same prices. Like, what was it? $7.35.
The band told you he could buy one for you.
Yeah, but don't waste your UpX. Sorry, USD Leban. If you want UpX, I'll do the swap. You can buy 2 from them if you want. If they're both the same, I'll try and swap with someone. But yeah, I actually thought those prices would come down to the low 20s. To be fair, in the buy swap sell channel, the people are selling for less than that. But
Well, you know what increases the price is the fact that now you need 3 of them to actually get that additional legit, right? So
yeah, but
you have all 3, so people are buying more of them. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and then
Which
at
is-
that point, they're gonna.
But
try
given
to
that
get
all
as much
3
as
have,
possible.
given that all 3 have the same rarity, I didn't think like it's not like one would be super expensive, and that's kind of why I decided to go after them. I thought, well, get all 3 because they're all the same rarity. Ordinarily, if I bought one, it happened to be the rarest one, then I'd probably collect them all. But since that's not the case, and I never get the rarest one, so I've never collected them. In the past, because in the past they've done that with the exclusives and shit like that, haven't they? So,
Yeah.
so because
like
they're all the same,
Bought all 3 of them.
they're all the same rarity. I thought, I'll get all 3. Why not? I don't know why I'm doing it. I guess almost like you, I've got UpX the burns, so why not?
Yeah, right. That's like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Oh, first world problems over here.
I'll
Right.
Yeah, it's such a hard life, man. Just having free UpX just pour into your account every day.
I know. I get like 4,000.
What did you win? You won the
The soccer
Jimmy.
goals.
goals. So from Scory.
All right, guys. Let's get the fuck out of here for tonight.
All right, adios.
All right, gents.
Night night.
Thanks, everybody.
Adios.
This might be the last
Last
intro,
time.
but
Yeah,
check us
that's
out
right.
on Fridays on Upland After Dark, where you can get most of the same crew. Swirly be more in the background. Me, Happy, Wolf, and whoever else wants to join us are going to be kicking it on Friday nights at 9 Pacific, 12 Eastern, with a little bit of a different crew, a little more structured. But who knows? Maybe you'll see a Neutral Zone randomly out.
Oh,
in the wild.
there'll be a neutral zone flavor through it, but it'll be a more structured, to the point, hour-long show. Hopefully, more quality content and less rambling and off the rails, so to speak.
But that's what's
See what happens.
That's what makes this fun.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's not fun, but the whole idea is to try and make a more educational.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the educational option.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for doing 34 episodes of the Neutral Zone. We'll see what happens. Let's do at least 35 Upland After Darks.
35. Right. Sure, we will.
All right, everybody. Catch you later. See you on Fridays. Peace.
Bye.